What is going on, guys? Big Rye here. In fact, I should be joining us very shortly. It's time to watch the NFL Week 2 Monday Night Football Lions-Packers game. I'm going to be pulling up some of the market data for myself to see if there's any value today on these games. I've already made one play on the Lions plus 11.5, minus 102. I just like the price, and I figured I wasn't going to get any better, and I was on the right side of it, luckily. Here we go. Fat Guy's in the building as well. What's going on, Fat Guy? Josh Allen in the building. How are you, Josh Allen? Just pulling up the betting numbers. So we've eclipsed 80,000 bets for this game. Well, we haven't, but the number of bets. Yeah, 81,092 as of now. Fat Guy, surprisingly, a ton of money has come in on the Lions over the last 5-6 hours. Interesting. What's the best price for you at the Packers? Or okay. Well, a Packers win by 11 would make all of us happy right now, it sounds like. Well, Packers by 14 is most likely better for all of us. Let's put it that way. If the Packers lose the game, okay. I know Mickey just said can't hear the Fat Guy, and that's a problem on my side, so I can hear you, so I'm going to try to figure out why that is. Mike check 1 2. Give me a check.
We're doing a little mic check here. I'm just reading the Wikipedia of John Lee Hinckley Jr., also known as Dylan Toddfield.
All right, I think you're good now. Can you guys give me okay, it's good now. Okay, thank you. So, Fat Guy, give him a gist. You were talking about what's the best price for you.
The best bet I got, and it's also the largest one I had. I didn't think I'd be giving out customer bets on the air, but whatever. Allegedly, I have one. I have Packers minus 10.5 at plus 103. That's my best one. So I'm happy with that. I will say this though, if the Packers don't win this game, it's a bit of a calamity for me, because I got to pay out like multiple money line bets. I don't know why people are betting Lions money line. I think it's because they think there's like, I've heard this at a couple poker games. People have this idea that Aaron Rodgers is just mailing the season in. I don't buy it. I don't know about you guys. I like, it was one game. I'm not knee jerking to that. Like, you really think he's going to come in and let the Lions embarrass him? Like, I don't know. How do we get a thumbs down already? Interesting stuff. But yeah, that's the that's it for me. I also have side bets as well, like season long ones. And the worse the Lions do, I kind of do better. It's hard to explain. Like, me and my group of friends, we do these things where we do a loss pool, where you draft teams, and the guy who drafted the team who had the most losses, i.e., like, I have Lions and Houston, or no, I have the Lions and like Cincinnati. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I have like 6 teams. So the worse the Lions do, the closer I am to winning that pool. And then in the wins pool, I have Green Bay. So like this is kind of, it's got to be it. Like this is a reasonable stake, and I don't want to pay out all these money line bets. I'll tell you that right now. And I was bullish on the Lions earlier in the week. Oh, and also too, somehow though, I would like the Lions to win by 14, but Green Bay's defense to give up points. So I'm asking for a lot here. I don't want to lose to Jackson Littlewood. Although of all guys, I mean, really, is it that bad? I'd be okay with that.
It looks like Mickey's put some action on this game.
Is it Rodgers last year in his contract? I don't know.
I think so. I think he has an out, or they like restructured his contract so he has an out at the end of this year. So interesting. It's showing that there's closing line value on the Packers against the spread, which is interesting.
I was wrong on that one.
Well, I did this. I was doing these. I did my betting market video for the membership, and I took Detroit a few hours ago because it was leaning towards a Detroit play at the current market that it was. But that was at 36,000 bets. Now we're at 81,000, and the money has really come in on Detroit against the spread. The one thing I will say though is I got the better of the price, so I got 11.5 at minus 102, and that's what made me take it early. Currently, right now, Detroit 11.5 is minus 109. So if I was really, really worried, I could just buy back on Green Bay at minus 101 and take a very, very small loss. But I'm just going to let this one ride. I think I got the good price. It's interesting, too, the opening lines for the spread percentage and spread percentage money is actually quite even. So it's pretty much a losing cause on both sides. But both on the closing lines show a better play on the Green Bay Packers against the spread. But what's interesting about that fat guy is that there was a lot of instances last year where the home team ended up with a better line at close, and this is the opposite, where they opened at 10.5. It's been bet up to 11.5. So I don't know how much you can correlate between the two.
Yeah. Well, it might be just a total red herring, right? Like, it's just not big enough sample. It's tough to say, and I've heard a lot of Square people talk about like Aaron Rodgers throwing a game, which I think is ridiculous. So I don't know how, like, if it's penetrated the Square community in Canada, isn't that possible? You know, like, isn't that possible if, in the United States it's more prevalent? But who knows?
Already, these thumbs are not green, guys. So I think we'll be okay tonight.
Oh, we switched someone from negative to positive. I feel great about that. I'm still working on my John Lee Hinckley backstory. Good. Just got to add him an afro and get him to work out at McGym. I don't know what Big Rye's eating there. Probably a quesadilla or a cheese sandwich. There's green stuff in there. Are you sure you're allowed?
It's funny because the green screen makes it look like it like blurs it out, like it's like you're not allowed to have vegetables on stream.
Well, you aren't. You've never had them before. Are you going to be okay? Is your tummy going to hurt?
Probably, but I can. You can hold down the fort while I run to the bathroom.
Oh, perfect exit strategy, right when he's catching some flack, eh?
Yeah.
Typical, just typical. Oh man. Anyways, here, I gotta bring up I haven't even brought the screen. My TV. I have a 3 monitor setup, and one's a TV. It's not the newest TV, but like, just fits the desk nicely. It's still pretty big, and it has a football like setting on the, like, it says football on the remote. Unbelievable. So I'm trying that out today.
Oh, that'll be interesting. I'm curious how that goes.
Yeah, so
Bring your passions to life.
It made all my spreadsheets look weird, but whatever. Have we got a selection yet on the Monday Night Countdown from the pundits?
No, but that's a good point. I'm guessing it's going to be all Green Bay, but who knows? Who knows with like this is such a weird this is a weird one because Green Bay in theory is so much better than Detroit. Like so much better. They have the better coach, they have the better quarterback, they have the better offense, they have the better defense. Like they're better almost everywhere. And I just don't know. Like it's such a small sample of one off season of terrible news for Green Bay and one bad game against a New Orleans Saints team that isn't that bad. And all of a sudden, and also like think about like the Saints look so good against them, and then they look so bad this week. So now people are doing the mental gymnastics of like how bad must the Packers be. And then the other thing too, I actually had a nice talk with my brother today because he had lots of opinions on today's
I want to
game.
know what those are.
Well, he was wishy-washy. He just kept jumping back and forth, and I pretty much just said take the Lions, take the points, and helped him find the right price. But
hold on, I gotta interrupt. Wook Dog, how you doing, buddy? Finally won. It's been years. Hey, you did win first season though. Let's be honest here. We gave you a shout out I did at least. Big Rise memory isn't as good. We know. Considering all the alcohol I've consumed in my life, you'd think he'd be sharper, but no. He's just discount Eric Carlson from Wish.com. So, but yeah, you did win first season, and it's been great. It's great that you participate. We really appreciate it. Yeah, he is. He's a total OG. He won season 1. Season 1 though. When we did this contest, it was just out of it was Big Rye came up with the competition concept, and I almost fought him on it, and he was right. It was one of the best ideas we've ever had, and I'm so grateful for it. But at the time, I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea, and he's like, we're doing it, and then look what it's sprung, right? Like a lot of weight from this channel, I believe, came from that competition because it's interesting. It's the best way to get your opinions recorded, and we have them all down. We've had to streamline the process though. There wasn't, the old contest wasn't as data centric as the current version behind the scenes. I mean, you guys don't see it, but we know who's picking what and to what degree and to what percentage, and we even have a file pretty much on everybody if we really wanted to, if you use the same login, of course. But yeah, Wook Dog was hot all season that season.
I just want to highlight because I haven't even talked about this with you, Fat Guy, but the contest this year, I've got it here somewhere.
Yeah.
People are 52.77 against the spread in the contest.
That's unbelievable.
Crazy.
Our consensus is beating the juice by a tiny amount. Is that not crazy? I mean, it's only 2 weeks, but when you think of the sample, that's still pretty large. Do you know what I mean? We could make a case though that there is a influence bias based on the picks we've chosen, and we've been positive 2 weeks in a row. So I mean, it is possible that that's the case, but it's interesting. Is Swift out? I don't know. It's Big Rise fantasy guys, so let's see. Oh no, I got Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli. I got to get off.
There was some really actually pretty good highlights from their thing, but I know what you mean. It's not for a live game. It's definitely a different experience.
It's horrible. I'm sorry. I don't even dislike those guys. It's just not my viewing. I'm not interested in what they have to say or joke about. It's just purely the game. That's it. And you guys, to be honest, answering you guys, I don't have the gumption or interest or time for that matter to entertain those guys.
I guess to highlight too, Dylan and I are in a fantasy matchup, and I think I need 22 fantasy points from DeAndre Swift to win. So if you could have a big game, that would be good for the channel.
All right. If I lose all this money, I do hope DeAndre Swift gets 22 fantasy points.
It's only just going to take one big play. I know that's asking a lot, but it's all it's going to take.
Well, 2. You need 2 big plays for 22. Wow, what a big play. I don't know if that was a push-off. Quinton Cephas? Look at the guys that got trotted out here.
I don't know if it's just my eyes were deceiving me, but he looked like a tight end when he was making that catch.
I have a question, though. If you're the Packers, why do you have Kevin King playing on an island? I don't care if it's Quinton Cephas. Why do you have Kevin King playing on an island? I don't understand. Like you have so many other options at corner. Like, why is he on an island there?
Sorry if Fat Guy might have been coming in a little bit loud there. I doubled up his audio because apparently I don't know how to work my computer. Josh Allen calling for the Dan Campbell close-up.
There'll be plenty of those. Look at this efficient Detroit Lions offense.
This is a good start. I'm always like a little bit hesitant after the first drives just because of the like scripted plays, but this is a better start than you could kind of hope for.
Look at you got Darren Fells, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Jamal Williams, TJ Hawkinson, Jared Goff at the helm. You got the whole crew.
The one thing I will say is like for you and I if this was our skill position group and we were GMs,
we wouldn't really care.
It wouldn't matter because every other
but
position
I would
is way
need
more
other
important.
stuff. They actually have an okay offensive line, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they put good draft capital into Sewell. Is it how you pronounce it?
Penei Sewell, yeah.
Yeah, Penei Sewell. Like, and think about all these other teams who are drafting, receivers that are going to play 6 games.
Yeah. Oh, Jamar Chase has 3 touchdowns or whatever, 2. I don't know. That's got to be it. He is. I would say he's leading the way though for on offensive player of the year though is Jamar Chase. Oddly enough. But then you have Jalen Waddle, who I don't think has done a thing in Miami. Mind you, I could be mistaken because I don't know how much playing time he's had. Devonta Smith has a touchdown. I don't even remember the other receivers from that draft. Oh, Kadarius Toney. He got -2 yards in week 1.
Just appreciate Jamie's comment.
The funniest comment is good evening, boys. Inmates were talking smack after loss. Had to plant a shank in a guy's cell for some payback.
So good.
Oh my, you can't write better than that. Why is Hollywood out of ideas? There's plenty in this community. Plenty. Oh my, touchdown Lions.
Sweaty start.
Oh.
This Packers defense has been pretty damn good the past 2 seasons, so not a strong start.
Dude, and you can look, I see some blue shirts in there, eh? Jackson, I'm getting a sweat already, man. I told you, an outright Lions win is real bad for me. I like this comment. No kneecaps for Hammer in the making of this touchdown drive. Were they bitten, though? I have Green Bay and Survivor also, Jay. I like the Lions O-line too, Zaps. I think that's a strength of their team.
What's that now? I think that's 40 points now for the Detroit Lions so far to start the season.
It's 37 more than Green Bay. Oh,
thank you, Jay.
So Jay made a mistake, and then now he's flip-flopping.
Hey, I don't even like Like you and I know anything about the YouTube algorithm. Let's get real.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's Susan Wojcicki's domain. Belfast would definitely be a good spot for the kneecaps. I'm currently watching a commercial with a knight getting launched into a lake. Can you think of a worse swimming attire than knight's armor? That's a one-way ticket. Oh, it's a Lego commercial. All right. Yeah, I saw that, Mickey. I did see that tweet. Yeah. So some guy got every game right so far, and he has the Lions at 4-1 to win $725K from the $25 bet. You had to, like, I would have made a deal with the sports book depending on, like, if I was a millionaire, I just let it ride, like multi-millionaire. If you have a net worth of less than 2 million, you should take the negative EV and just take the buyout, or borrow a bunch of money at like a 3% interest rate, or 2%, and then just hedge. Like, those are your two options, right? Like, you have to think in terms of life-changing money. Man, this defense got punked though. Like, that was like 10 plays, not even. It's such a scam though when they
Yeah, no kidding,
like,
Jackson.
like when they post like, oh, this guy is like one game away from winning all this money, it's because they want to implement this idea that like anything's possible with a parlay lottery ticket. And when it's like a generating revenue, these stories, right? Because obviously they're gonna get the PR from this story that's probably worth more than what the payout would be. And if he loses, because again, what Jackson just said, imagine getting 15 games right and having it all depend on the Lions. He's very likely to lose this game. Less so now, but I mean, it's still like they get it for free, right? So I don't know. In fact, they get paid $25. Dude, the Star Watch is on a Trey Flowers and a rookie cornerback on the Lions who wasn't even a first-round pick. It probably is the sports guy, Jay. Although I didn't get a full look at his video. If I had kids, though, they'd be allowed because it is a child-safe video. What a run by Jones. Do you see Rodgers? Did you see Rodgers on that weird? Oh, yeah, teaser's right. Yeah, my mistake. Dude, they have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones out there. I feel like this would be a good A.J. Dillon carry, a little bit thicker. Not that I'm 100% certain he's heavier. I'm pretty certain he's heavier, though. And boy, does he look it. It's so hard to Jones with 3 carries to start this off. It's so tough to tell, like, that depth on the TV, like, how he's going to make around the bend. Mm-hmm. He's got to be a little gassed out here. 3 in a row, and those weren't, like, up the gut carries the last 2. Look at this receiving core. I'm banging on Amon-Ra St. Brown and Quinton Cephas. And look what they're trotting out here again. Eddie Lazard and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Like, it's not, I mean, obviously they have Devontae Adams, but I mean, it's, it can't be too hateful.
I want to know who
Here's
Eddie
Adam.
Lazard is now.
You don't know Eddie Lazard? He was like a UDFA, I believe, practice squad type guy. I made that joke about Police Academy, Commandant Lassard. It's a close enough name, right?
Are you talking
Anyone
about
watch?
Curtis Lazard?
Oh, is that his name? Why did I say Eddie Lassard?
The best part
Eddie
is we
Izzard.
might both be wrong.
No, it's not Curtis Lazard. I've been calling it's Eddie Izzard. I got it mixed up. Alan Lazard. Thank you.
Yeah, I like how both of us get it wrong.
Yeah, like what a bunch of stooges.
I thought you were making some like meta joke. So I started searching Eddie Lazard.
Man, when I got over 32, I swear it just switched my wires. I get everyone's like I do these egg corns I don't even mean to, where I get the guy's first name wrong all the time. It's close enough to Eddie Izzard, so I called Alan Lazard Eddie Lazard. I'm sure this is entertaining for everyone. We got a flag here on this play. Ooh, defense with a penalty here. Jay just posted something in the Discord. It was very interesting. Rogers looking like a junkie. And Tom Brady, you know, obviously the best looking and most talented guy in the world. A lot of runs here, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't mind it. It's just not what I would think here. You know, like they're not passing with Rodgers. Whereas like last year, it was like just dicing them, right? This is a strange, like quarterback situation here. Because the first year they're telling us like how he's done. Last year he's the league MVP. Like I don't know what to think. And now they're what 5 runs and 1 pass.
5 linemen on this play. D linemen, it looks like.
A false start. AJ Dillon.
Swift is playing. I think he had 1 carry on that first drive.
Jackson has a great question. I gotta think. Like if just without like mentally counting them, I'd probably put him at like 6 or 7. You know, like I think there's a clear like Mahomes, Allen, and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. Like those are, I don't know how you could argue those ones. Aaron Rodgers, I guess, like, but you had 1 bad game. Like I don't get it. Oh, it was his worst game ever. You have to have a worst game ever. You play 1 game, it's your best and your worst game ever. Like, you know what I mean? He's top 5. Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think of like I have that right there. It's at 5th. I'm trying to think of other guys here. I almost have to look at the teams to think about.
Well, I guess like this might just be too simple, but if we think back to like the MVP list, like that might be the safe way to go. Like no one's gonna. Well, like here's an interesting one, and this guy hasn't even played that well, but Justin Herbert to be 3rd or 4th in MVP voting. Like, is Justin Herbert? Is he currently better than Brady? Like, I know that sounds absolutely crazy to say.
No. Oh, okay. I'll take Kyler Murray over Tom Brady if you can believe that. That's probably it. So I got him at 6. Lamar Jackson's probably after that.
Well, where's Dak?
He's behind those. I don't think he's healthy. He's behind those guys. Yeah, and then the other guy like
Stafford.
Yeah. And I think I like for my type of offense, I think I prefer Stafford almost. But then like that Jackson played so good yesterday and like pocket passing last night. How can we argue that, guys? He looked like I don't know. It was a stunning game, right? It's just like, but that's like the best he can play. He'll take Herbert over Brady. Herbert's getting up there, like in the conversation though.
That's the thing. Like, that's a weird, like, if you said that 1 year ago, you'd be like, you're smoking crack if you think. But, like, Herbert's been very consistently strong. And for him to be that high in the MVP, because he was higher than Brady, I'm pretty sure.
Higher than everybody. He was second or third for a while. I don't think you're crazy, Jax, because you got to remember, I always say I'm like the worst athlete in the NFL has 7 rings. And it's true. He's the worst athlete by an absolute mile, right? But that doesn't matter, man. I like arm strength, not quite there. Oh, this got to be a rushing touchdown here. There you go. There you go, Packers. But the reads, like God, his pre-snap reads are so good. This was
Brady?
a really nice, yeah. There's a reason he can have longevity is because he's just using his brain. He somehow knows where the pressure's coming not somehow, through years of dedicated time, experience, and practice. He knows where the pressure's coming from, and he avoids it. Like it's something extra. Yeah, Jackson's right though. He does feel like they have excellent circumstances, but think about like that's part of him doing his homework, right? He didn't just pick Tampa Bay out of a hat, right? He picked a team with probably the best offensive line, probably the most flexible coach in terms to adopting ideas and strategies, and he picked a tax haven. Like, I don't think it could have been a better fit.
Thing, like, this is such a weird question because for the regular season, like, I'm probably the same as Jackson. Like, I probably have him 10th. But if we're talking about winning playoff games, it's probably for me, it's Mahomes and then him. Like, I don't know if I'd want anybody else to win a playoff game, which is just.
I disagree there.
It's such a small, like, it's a weird circumstance thing.
It's a weird like argument. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, is Trent Dilfer better than Dan Marino because he has a ring? Like, it doesn't work for me because you don't get the opportunities. Like, they showed Stafford being 0 for 3 in playoff games and Brady having like 38 wins or something, or 30. It doesn't even matter. But the point is, like, the opportunities weren't nearly the same. You couldn't tell me on some of those New England teams that Stafford wouldn't be really good and Brady would be really poor on some of those Detroit teams. So I don't like that strategy, that argument, because the opportunity isn't really there. I will say this about him: the guy literally shows up and gives himself the best chance of win, and the probabilities have taken over from there. He's the best prepared guy and the luckiest guy. Nothing wrong with that. So and Mickey's right about the free agent acquisitions, because let's think about this. Not only the tax thing, I honestly think plays a factor, because it does in hockey. You get taxed more in Canada than anywhere in the United States. It's not close. So like, why would a guy want to get paid in Canadian dollars and get taxed more, right? Like, it just doesn't. It's not a financial good decision. So in the NFL, if you can get, Florida is great for taxes. You know what I mean? And then that's like it's a very rich family owns them. They have that type of monetary mobility where, like, you know, they can spend right at the cap, whereas somewhere like Cincinnati, they don't even try to do that. So like, all that stuff comes together, and guys, like you said, why wouldn't you take a little bit of a pay reduction at a chance at legacy, right? And think about for Brady too. Say Brady takes a little bit less, which he does. He could get max paid just about, you know what I mean, like 38 million or whatever, but he takes a little bit less because he's going to make more money after football if he wants to. Not that he needs it. Like, billionaires just want to be around it. You know what I mean? Because he represents the American success, right? So for him, he has a lot of those advantages, like you were saying. Antonio Brown's getting paid like 1.3 million or something. I mean, he's at a budget for different reasons altogether, but you know, but Would Tampa have signed him without Brady probably saying, like, oh, we should get this guy? Probably not. Gronkowski came back at a discount. Man. Yeah, absolutely. The tax rate, the max tax rate here, Jackson, is 42 or 4%. And there's a bunch of other stuff you can get dinged with. Big Ryan and I have a mutual friend that lives in daily fear of that. And it's, you know, you make a lot of money, you can, but they can just take it back too. So like Florida is just so much more attractive. You know, they're not the only state, right? I would imagine Texas is very similar. So I don't think they have state tax. But again, you know, I'm not an expert. I'm just a Canadian, right? Like California, it'd be a way better financial decision to be playing in Florida than California, I would imagine. Who knows endorsements, though, how that trickle-down effect. That was a nice play call. I like that. Not that high, Jackson. My friend's an underwater welder, and he hits that in 6 months. And I think it's only like $1. I think it's like $160, Jackson. I think that's 160,000. So it's not. It's like if it was 400, it made more sense to me. But it's pretty low. So again, I could be mistaken, but I believe it's something like that. And there's obviously when you have write-offs,
anything above 216,000 is 33%.
There you go. Yeah.
Federally,
but then you add provincial tax, which every province has, aside from maybe some of the northern.
In British Columbia, anything above 20.5%, or 222,000 at 20.5%.
There you go. So you're really, really dinged if you make over 222,000.
But then that 20% is only on that what's above that 220,000. It's not on everything.
No, it's not on everything. Yeah. And we have taxes on everything here. It's very interesting. Even things like cheese, you guys would be shocked. I think cheese is like double the price in Canada. Well, yeah, dude, economics are a big deal. That's got to be a.
This is the Jamal Williams revenge game.
It is, isn't it? Eh?
Yep.
He's an underrated running back.
He's got a light sense of humor about this too. It's pretty funny. That's pretty good from Jamal Williams.
That's not bad. He's a player we've always liked because that guy's he's a complete running back. He's not amazing at anything, but he can play everything. And this goes to my argument. You can't play Saquon Barkley on. He doesn't play a third down very often, you know. Yeah, that's always the argument, Jackson. But then like trickle down economics, if that even really a thing. It's such an. I don't have a good answer on that one. It's above my pay grade. Let's put it that way. Man, like this shock of Detroit, like, oh, they're gonna be so bad. They look like a complete football team two weeks in a row now. You know, obviously they had to come back. They're getting destroyed.
They did not look good week one, and then they scored lots of points late.
Yes,
but this has been a good start for them today in this first quarter. But here's an offensive penalty that's going to bring them back. So we'll see if they can get through this.
Well, I'll comment on it, Mickey. We didn't like a certain thing he did in the Discord, so he got a little bit of a verbal lashing. He can take it how he likes it.
Dylan was actually very apologetic and I told him that I'm going to help him stay in line because he's
All right.
not always aware of how he can come off. So
There you go. There he is. We have him in spirit here, that's for sure. I will say this about him though, he is passionate, like, and that's, you know, I can get on board with that, as misguided as it can be. Rogers looks like he's a sculptor or something. Or a male performer, if you catch my drift. Got to get the Fro avatar. Yeah, I sent Big Rye the photo last night. I think
I
it's
just
the
haven't.
next one up on.
I just haven't taken
duty.
the time to do it.
Yeah.
I guess technically I could probably do it right now, but I'll leave it. It'll be a
it's
nice
not necessary.
surprise.
Yeah.
One of these
yeah.
streams you guys will pop in and it'll be there.
Maybe when Tamitha Reynolds makes an appearance. Well, Jay, we whatever you identify as, we're an accepting community.
Or whatever.
I love these gambling commercials. It's a PokerStars commercial, but it says play for free at PokerStars.net. You know, where his .com is. Yikes, Troy Polamalu.
Business is never one-sided. It's a conversation between your front of house and your back of house, between taking payments and taking care of your team, between how you're selling today and what you're selling tomorrow. With Square, the flow is much better because all these sides of your business all speak the
Yeah,
same
you could be.
so you can spend more time shaping
African with 2 A's and a K. I have a friend like that. They have the funnest accents. Kind of like which one focuses on that? District 9, which actually was a really good movie, and that put movies in perspective. What's his name? Peter Jackson made District 9 for like $40 million or something. You know, and it was, you couldn't tell me it wasn't less entertaining than a $1 billion movie. So, but I swear, movie productions find ways to literally light money on fire. A guy I play poker with, Cater, is one of them, and he does great. And he's great for the game. Second and 20, always tough, eh?
Motion. They're in zone. And we get a screen pass here to Swift.
That was a nice play. Anthony Lynn really wants to get back on the seat, eh? Wants another chance, eh? Jared Goff, an efficient 8 for 8.
This
Easy
all of a
OC.
sudden this trade, like, very early, like way too early to say, but if like picking up a couple first round picks and getting this kind of play from Goff has been a very nice start for them. It's been a trade that's really worked out for both sides at the moment. Oh, I said that too soon.
I don't know what that's going to be. One thing, though, Jackson, about Tommy Wiseau, he paid for his own movie, so you're allowed to manage it as horribly as you want. I don't know if this is going to stand, though. Is this Preston Smith? Yeah. Now they change it to incomplete pass after pointing that way.
I don't it's so strange that, like, there's so many refs on the field that, like, I guess it's the head referee's decision on what actually gets called. It looks like an incomplete pass,
It
but
looks
Goff
like
was
one, but-
Goff was playing with fire with that. That the Russell Wilson spin does not look good on him.
No, it doesn't. Oh, unreal. Yeah, I know, Jackson. It's unreal. But that's why we love Tommy Wiseau. And by the way, he is in the black on the movie The Room for all the different reasons than he would have thought, but he's in the black. Because I think they still play it at midnight at that movie theater. He paid for years for that. Oh, and film and digitally? Oh, yeah, it has to be grounding. Tony Meatballs is right. You can't make it not grounding then. Yeah, he's totally right. That happened in the Seahawks game, too. And it didn't call it grounding. I thought it should have been a safety, the Seahawks game.
I noticed lots of an increase in grounding calls. I don't have any stats to back it up, but I just noticed a lot
Yeah, I
more.
test. Yeah. Yeah, but you can't have it both ways, man. I don't know.
That's all. I feel like it's always gone the quarterback's way, and then this year it feels like the opposite. Like they're not giving the quarterbacks benefit of the doubt for trying to throw it away. It's nice, yeah. It's nice for some
like respect for the defense. It's a joke. Like the defense, I don't like. God, man, think about it. If you're a defensive player trying to get that next contract, and they just keep taking away things you've worked on for years and forcing you to adjust, like how are you supposed to get a lead? Okay, now they got a false start here or delay a game here. Holy.
You know the TV show and the movie, The Wet Hot American Summer?
I've heard of it, yes.
Dan Campbell looks like the cook. I don't remember the actor's name. Hopefully someone in the comment section can let Fat Guy know.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so otherwise I'd be on it. Well, Dan Campbell played tight end as recently as 2005, I believe, for the Arizona Cardinals. That was a brutal return. He does look like a cop. If there was a death match in fighting between the coaches, I think Dan Campbell comes out ahead. I'll be real.
Yeah. And then Anthony Lynn is his...
if they're a tag team, please. Please. The Rumblers from Detroit are winning that. My dark horse in the coaching death match, Mike Tomlin. Most overrated would be Sean McVay for sure.
Do you know Christopher Maloney?
Of course I do.
Yeah, he was giving me Christopher Maloney vibes.
Oh, it depends which version of Christopher Maloney you get. If you get the one from, he was like a weird antagonist or protagonist that shifts to antagonist in the show Oz, the prison show.
Mm-hmm.
So he got really creepy. So it kind of like stained him for me. He's a good actor. He's a really good cameo in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's been nice, Josh. It's been nice. It's just the Ravens game wasn't impressive to me though. Like this is different though. This is different. Like the game, like a game against the Steelers are no slouches, despite what their record can end up with. They're a tough team. They beat Buffalo on the road. They're not weak. They're well coached. They play tough. Beating them in their own house is not easy, and that's a real feather in the cap for the Raiders. And they played well, right? Whereas like it was a little bit sloppy against the Ravens. It just kind of came together. But look at their roster. They beat the Ravens and the Steelers. Pretty good. Oh yeah, Belichick would have to have something going up his sleeve, literally.
So for NFC East, Cowboys are minus 145. Eagles plus 391. Washington plus 365. Giants plus 985. I didn't really realize that you could bet division winners like this mid-season. For
Oh, it's a
some
brave
reason.
new world. You can bet anything. You can bet tennis faults.
I guess
drink.
I mean just Pinnacle. Like usually Pinnacle's a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
more
yeah.
conservative than some of the other books.
But they're milking. They're losing a lot of square business that way too, right? Like you got to be just taking like semi-sharp action is tough. The ultra sharps usually just have outs at other books. So they probably do, Jay. I think the Eagles are. I'm willing to say they're pretty close to the best team in that division.
And Mickey's comment made me laugh that Belichick would definitely be cheating in some sort
Yeah,
of.
that's what you do, man. He's the Ric
fight to the
Flair
death.
without the persona.
Yeah.
Lie, cheat, steal. Yeah, oh, obviously less so at Jackson. I did like them. That was one of the ones I liked. I don't understand why the hate on that team. I don't see why they're so much worse than everyone else.
The only thing I don't like is that Brandon Graham injury could be like more devastating to them than a lot of the public realizes. He's been such an he's been like honestly one of the best defensive players over the last 8 years.
If you use like a collective performance, yeah, sure. I mean, because he hasn't like blown the lid off any one season, but he's been like
he's probably like the best defensive player that no one knows about. Like
yes,
if that makes sense.
Like if he was giving a Madden rating, he's like an 84 every year, which is great. They do have depth, Jay, but not like Super Bowl depth like they used to, but.
Well, we did the picks video. Who do the
What?
Eagles play next week?
The Eagles play. Oh man, losing my
Dallas.
brain.
They play Dallas on
Dallas,
Monday
yeah.
night at
They're
plus 4.
4-point dogs.
Yeah, that's nice. I think you talked about it. I think they close at 3.
Yeah,
So
that is what I think.
4.5 would be nice
yeah.
value. But I'm wondering how other people view that. Like, is for the equilibrium though?
Why
for
is
other
Dallas
people?
so juiced?
I guess a lot of the uncertainty was on Dak's health, because to me, Dak is the best quarterback. Like, there's a pretty big gap. Like, it doesn't mean that Hurts can't be awesome and play well. It's just we haven't seen as much from him as we have of Dak. And Fat Guy brings up a good point earlier, talking about the health of Dak. Like, that could be a serious problem. Like, if Dak goes down, I would much rather have Philly than Dallas. Washington offensively is like, you kind of don't know what you're going to get. Like, kind of. Defensively, though, it's hard to argue. Well, I shouldn't say that. Their front seven is really good. The secondary should be better with that front seven.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling too, Jackson. Like 3, even 2.5. So I think there's value on 4.
Zab says he loves Miami plus 4. I thought they were plus 5.5.
Yeah.
Did that line come
Well,
down? I haven't been following next week's line moves at all.
Probably because Tua does his X-rays were negative, so he's just sore. You know what I mean? So
that's good news. So I could see how that line might have come down. Where is it? Yeah, it's not up at Pinnacle at the moment, but I'll take your word. Well, I can check. I can check what other books have. Yeah, plus 4.5, plus 3.5. I see even at some places. So interesting. It looks like plus 4 is more. Plus 4, plus 3.5 is kind of equilibrium because plus 4.5 is only at Pinnacle, and that line isn't actually up at Pinnacle, which would make sense why it's higher. Interesting. But that gives you a good idea of kind of the value that Tua brings.
Yeah.
Or that question that you pondered about Tua versus the versus Brissett and what that meant to the line, if anything at all. So it looks like maybe 1.5 points, maybe 3, because they might have split the difference when they put that line out.
Nice runs here from Detroit. Yeah, Eagles money line. That's fair too. Like I'm trying not to be too bullish. Like I actually think they're a better team than Detroit, or sorry, Dallas. But like I'm trying to put like reality into it. It's not really possible with all the odd sets. But I mean, I guess right because you always have to think like how can I have an edge this big? So and I've been secretly very bullish on the Eagles. Well, maybe not so secretly, but like I'm trying not to be overly. So they just check a lot of boxes for me, and they're underrated. I don't understand the hate on for him. Like, what's so bad? And why do people dislike Hurts? I've heard many people talk about Hurts negatively. I'm like, it's fine.
Hurts has really given them energy, to be honest. Like as a team, like when he's played compared to Wentz, like I know I'm speaking for a lot of people in Philly, but it just felt like the energy with Wentz wasn't the same as it was with Hurts at quarterback. Yeah, I know Mickey was highlighting that the Eagles just played a better overall game, but they had a turnover inside the 5-yard line and a missed field goal, I believe. So they pretty much left 10 points on the board in that game. And they only lost by, I believe, 6. I think it was 17-11. So
yeah,
they should have won by, 3 points or 4 points. And like I had San Francisco money line in that game, and like it never felt good. Let's put it that way. Goff did excellent moving in the pocket there, but obviously outside of the pocket, not great. And it looks like a chintzy flag on the defense. Probably like a face mask, or we'll see what it is.
They touched his helmet. I mean, that could be construed differently in a lot of contexts.
That's just a tough, like, that's in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking, but like, this is awareness, right? If Goff's in the open field, he's not going to get by you. That's a weird one too, because his knee was down. But like, when does that stop, right? Like, you obviously can't grab a guy by the face mask after he's down and then tear his head off.
Man, they're doing a great job, this Eagles team. Sorry, Lions team. I'm getting...
Yeah, the first down runs are great zaps. And then I like what Mickey says here about Hurts. He's not flashy, but he's a natural leader, smart, efficient, athletic. So it makes sense why the energy of the team might have picked up, because Wentz might have lost the locker room. I
thought he was a baby though. Like, remember he was upset that he wasn't the starter anymore. Well, he didn't play to be the starter. Everyone's job should be at risk. I think NFL is a great meritocracy. We hear that word a lot, but I think like for a lot of team, like strong teams, like okay, for the Patriots, it was an efficient meritocracy. The best players played, and that's it. And I like that. If you're the best player, you should be playing. Nothing else should really be matter if you give your team the best chance of winning.
And then Zab said the Eagles O-line is fully healthy too. Unlike last season, they have a solid O-line. So that's kind of what the strength was when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, was the offensive and defensive line play. it's still super impressive that they were able to win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. Like that's super impressive. You like your roster and your coaching has to be on point.
And they took chances to give them a chance to get lucky, if that makes sense. I didn't see the Vikings announcer, but like, can they even be at this point, if you've been around the organization a long time, can you even be big, like heartbroken anymore? It's just so like apropos. Jared Goff, 10 for 11.
And his one incompletion was the time he decided to pretend to be Russell Wilson.
I got to say, though, I ripped on Carson Wentz earlier. I thought he balled out against the Rams. I thought he played really well.
Oh, the Vikings guy thought they made it. Oh, man. Talk about just tearing emotions. Teetering.
Did it tear him apart, Big Rye, to reference The Room?
Yeah. 4 wide here from Detroit. Shotgun. What a catch. Holy.
Did he drop it at the end? That's unbelievable.
It looks like he got it.
Dude, GB's defense. 2 touchdowns on 3 drives.
But this is like you're getting a mismatch here with a tight end versus a linebacker on that route. Like, what's a linebacker supposed to do? And Goff dropped a dime. That was not an easy. That was not an easy play. That's excellent execution from Detroit. That's what that was.
Picking on Devondre Campbell. Jackson resurrecting his inner Tommy Wiseau on starting the Green Bay defense in fantasy this week. Everybody betray me. I fed up with this world.
What's going on, Jake? The champ. The what was the movie that I just watched that I was like, how did you not tell me about this sooner? It's called like Fateful Fear or something like that.
Fateful Findings. It's a Neil Breen movie.
Yeah,
I'm a real Neil Breen head, though.
Yeah, Mickey, I might have just overrated Green Bay's defense. Like it's the edge rushers, the Smiths that they brought in. Like those guys have just been so good for them, but it might be I might be overrating just off of those 2 guys.
That would have been a bit of a risk, Zap, starting the Panthers D. I love it though. They're an underrated unit. I don't think there's a good defense in the league though, like an actual good one. I don't think there is one.
Yeah,
I don't know how possible it is either.
What are the I guess like Pittsburgh, Tampa, Washington. Like it's tough. It's just so tough because like defense, you legit need like 13 really good players to to do it. But if you do it right, like it's such a huge advantage.
Birdemic, Shock and Terror. That's definitely Big Rye's favorite movie.
Oh, it's up there. I think Samurai Cop is my favorite.
Oh yeah, right.
But Birdemic, Shock and Terror is really really good. The one that I watched recently it's not a good movie. Like, obviously none of these movies are any good, but what's it called again? Fateful Findings?
Fateful Findings, Neil Breen.
Fateful Findings has like 2 or 3 scenes where you're like, I can't believe this is happening right now. The rest of the movie kind of sucks.
I haven't seen it, Jay. I haven't watched TV in forever. I'd like to get caught up in a couple years.
Jake, I think that's kind of what we aim for too, and it's tough, man. It's tough to go 500 every week.
Yeah,
like it's a good to aim for, right? Because consistently, like, strangely enough, being 8-7-1 every week is like, it's perfect. Like that's as good as it gets.
Holy, there's a movie called Velocipastor. Is it a
I got to write
Is it-
this one down.
okay? Velocipastor. Is it a theological dinosaur? Is that where this is going? Man, the kicker saved it. It Follows? No, I know that movie, and I think I know what it's about. But I haven't actually watched it. I think it's on Netflix right now too. Yeah, so it is a theological dinosaur. Okay, so he gets to turn into one though at will. That's great. That's a bit like there's a movie like that Silver Bullet, but I guess I just spoiled the ending.
What's It Follows about, Mickey? I've never heard of it.
The worst STD in your life, I believe. Not even joking.
It's got 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
It Follows or Velocipastor?
Does it?
No, which I'm asking you.
Man, some of these... I don't even know how you're supposed to watch all these great movies.
What a run from Jones. Man. Man, Aaron Rodgers, like, this is strange that they're taking such a run-first approach. If their defense is playing this bad, I'm completely fine with it, though. Wasn't Aaron Glenn, what did he play in the NFL? Was he a cornerback?
He was corner. We talked about this because I was
Yeah,
getting
we
him
did.
mixed up with the quarterback, who
Aaron
is
Brooks.
Aaron
I got
Brooks.
mixed.
And I
Yeah.
was like, just confused by why he decided to become a defensive backs coach.
Well, it was kind of like when Andy Reid switched O-line coach Juan Castillo to defensive coordinator when they had that dream team or whatever, and it really didn't work out. Man, these runs are impressive on both teams. You can see that Jones is a more talented runner than Williams. I mean, I guess that's why they kept him, right?
Yeah.
Nice play. Nice play. They have Randall Cobb doing the blocking. It worked, though. It was enough to get the first down.
Nice stiff arm on that.
That was great.
Is that Anzalo?
I don't think he got there. Yeah, anal zone. Anzalone. I like how that's like how juvenile. That's your favorite name.
I think that's what I actually thought it was.
Yeah. Isn't anal zone redundant though?
For me, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Second and 1. That's all right. This is a nice drive too. Man, he looks great today. Aaron Jones.
I feel like Aaron Jones always looks good though. Like
I know, but like this has been a night, like, because this is a game where like he's been very much so the focal point of this offense, not Aaron Rodgers. Look how fast this game is going, too. It's going to be hard to cover when they're taking drives this slow, though. Man, they're getting tough yards, too.
Okay.
Could have done without that.
That was the design screen. Oh, man. Jones managed to pick it up, but that was pretty dangerous.
Man, he's getting involved in the pass game, too. I like a Dillon run here.
This was his design screen. This play was beautiful. This play worked very well.
And kudos to Scantling for not getting some weird penalty there. Oh, yeah. Hurry up here is even better. Good job, A-Rod. If you're just managing run plays, I'm fine with this. This is pretty good. I do like the ones where like they could have had Dillon as the. That's unfortunate. I like those run plays where we saw it week 1 on the Thursday nighter with Elliott playing the fullback and Pollard playing the halfback. I like the idea of doing that with Dillon too. I think they've done it already once or twice this drive. I think that's the right play though. The right play, right formation, right package.
Go with us and find millions of flexible options, all in our app. Expedia. It matters who you travel with.
I've got an idea. Come on. I've brought in some pros.
Be like Toronto FC. Join the cordless revolution. Visit riobitools.ca.
Business is never one-sided.
I prefer BK over McNeese. Me too. It's not even close.
And your back of house. Between
What do you like at Burger King?
and taking care of your team. Between
What's not to like?
day and
No, I think a Whopper with cheese is a far superior burger than anything McDonald's offers.
because all these signs
And we're not, obviously we're talking at like burgers that are below 5.5.
conversation.
But like the best McDonald's burger is probably like a quarter pounder with cheese, and that's still like a 3 or a 2.5. Yeah, double Whopper's great. They had a garlic one that I liked a couple months ago. Robert Downey Jr. said a disgusting BK burger made him quit drugs and turn his life around. Fuck, whatever works. No, we don't have Sonic, Mickey. I think Big Rise had it multiple times though in the States.
Yeah, I think there's Sonics just south of us, but they're just not in Canada. Like, we can get to a Sonic if we need to. I think, what do you recommend getting at Sonic? Because I think I've only had it maybe once or twice, and it was, like, I don't search them out. But I think they have really good milkshakes from what I've heard. Baconator's good after hours. That's Wendy's, right? Baconator.
You see the water guy run off?
No, I missed it.
I like Sonic's commercials.
So like the two guys in the car.
Yeah, those are fun, and yeah, they're recognizable too. That one like generic white guy, I love him.
Sonic has slushies too. I didn't know that.
Big Rise has the palate of a child, so that really appeals to him.
Yeah, I'm down for a good alcohol or a good non-alcoholic drink. Let's put it that way.
I like how you almost messed that up.
Well, it just made no sense.
Yeah,
I love going to Sonic for a good alcoholic drink.
I don't why mess around here? You're at the half-yard line. That was a beautiful throw. Even though that looks like it's not that hard, that was a beautiful throw.
I feel like defenders really have a tough time with those angles on those plays.
Yeah. Because he had a corner and a linebacker, right? I saw a 21 number, whatever that means now. That's a good question. He hit Adams twice, but one was like a smoke screen. I've heard of Whataburger. I've always wanted to try one, Mickey. I don't know, Zaps. I don't know if they're going to try and sling it, right? Like,
Hack it with the whitest celebration of all time up in the
yeah,
booth.
absolutely.
I haven't had Whataburger.
A Wahlburger. I'm a huge Five Guys guy. I like the business, and I listened to a podcast. How they built this. They usually just interview successful business people, and like the guy who I felt was most realistic and in tune with his success was the Five Guys guy, and he was hilarious. He talked about like how like most of his decisions would have led to ultimate failure, but he listened to his family and that carried it. And he also just says how lucky he was and how much, like how things have worked out, like could have just gone the other way so often. And he said the only thing that what kept them so successful was keeping everything simple. I really like the guy. Whereas I heard the Chipotle guy and he just sounded like a total ass. So
I really like how they cook with peanut oil. Like it's such a difference maker. I feel like with Five Guys, and being able to like fully customize what you get, I think is a nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a nice touch. Like it's not too complicated.
Oh, Bunsen burger, that sounds great. That's funny too. Who doesn't like that?
The whole world will be watching the moment our heroes reunite.
I can't remember if I had
the
Shake
Five
Shack.
Guys?
I had In-N-Out. I like In-N-Out too. Five Guys I think is better than In-N-Out, but In-N-Out's like more rare for us, so I enjoy some In-N-Out when I get the chance.
Did you go in Vegas, Big Rye?
Yeah, when I was originally working on our first like BRFG project, I was in Vegas for Henderson, Nevada for a few months, and In-N-Out was, let's say, a weekly trip. What I had recently, which I found really, really like surprisingly good, was Chick-fil-A.
I've never had it.
Yeah, it was pretty unreal the few times I had it.
And the song's good though.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no. Good job from 40 or 41 there.
I've never had Raising Cane's, but Chick-fil-A, like I was very surprised with how good Chick-fil-A was. Like it was good enough where my wife and I like pretty much went back daily until we had to leave. And the like I guess it's just because Chick-fil-A is busy, but the service was unreal. Like they had someone meet you outside. They had an assembly line at the drive-through.
Oh, KFC doesn't even get the designation as food.
We started getting Popeyes here, so I've had Popeyes a few times. What I've been enjoying actually is there's a couple like Korean fried chicken places I've
Oh,
had,
those are unreal.
and they've been very, very good.
Those win out.
Yeah, I've liked it better than Popeyes, but Popeyes is still like, I know a lot of people really talk highly of Popeyes.
The Canadian franchise Mary Brown's is better than Popeyes, I think. Yeah, that was another big first down run from the Lions with a good return. They're in range here.
Surprising enough, fat guy, there is a Mary Brown's within walking distance, and my wife and I had it, and once was enough. It wasn't that good. But I think it was just like a bad experience because my brother talked it up and told us to go, which I was interested in.
I just prefer it over Popeyes, but I'll take Korean all day. It's not even close.
There's a Korean chicken
close.
place. Next time you got to
Not
come.
even
Like
close.
that's what we'll get, and it's cheap too.
100%.
It's $22 for a bucket Canadian, and like it's good for 2 meals.
Dude, he's got good protection here. Man, this defense is gashed.
Yeah, the Livo used 57.5, which is pretty damn high. Considering like it's interesting because this game has been played at such a slow pace, but it's like both teams are scoring.
Do you see the protection on that play though? And you get a
Yeah,
good O-line.
you're gonna win games if that's your protection. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. It doesn't matter who your skill position players are. There's no team that can cover for 8 seconds.
Let me interject there because this has happened before. Cleveland Browns, top 5 O-line for about 5 years. Terrible in offense. Coaching, I mean, not that I'm, tipping my hat to Dan Campbell quite yet, but this has been nice. And Hugh Jackson, just the worst. I'll always say that, and I'll always rail it. And this is another time for that because Cleveland really did have a decent O-line.
I guess my advisor was right. These don't tell the full story.
Think about it. They had at one point Joe Thomas,
Mitchell Schwartz, Joel Bitonio,
Mitchell Schwartz, Kevin Zeitler.
I think Zeitler was later.
Yeah, a little bit later.
They had
but no, John Greco was the other guy. For a while.
Greco was the other guard. And
and Alex Mack.
Yeah, and Mack.
Oh my goodness, are you joking?
Like Alex Mack in his prime too.
So Alex Mack, Mitchell Schwartz, Joel Bitonio. So top 3 left tackle, number 1 right tackle, top 3 center, top 3 guard. How are they bad on offense?
You know what?
How?
I don't think they actually had Greco and Bitonio at the same time. I think it was Laval at that time. And then
Sean Laval, maybe.
And then they lost Greco, and then they drafted. But still, like they had more good linemen than a lot of other teams did over a 5-year span. And I'd say Schwartz was good in Cleveland, but I feel like he improved and
At
reached
Kansas
his
City.
peak in Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. He became the best right tackle in the league.
Yeah.
This is a weird one.
That is a crazy stat. Yeah, Jackson, the Korean fried chicken it's really good. And it's actually my favorite deep fried thing is the deep fried like pork cutlets from Japan. Like I don't know what it is. Like I can only eat so much deep fried food and then you're kind of like, okay, I'm good. But for some reason there's like no diminishing returns with the pork. So they're going to have to take a timeout here. That was a very, very bizarre design play. Like I know they're trying to get out of bounds to save timeouts, but they just picked up no yards. It was actually we didn't see this from enough defenses, I felt, in the first week, and a really good job by Green Bay tackling to keep them in bounds there to save that timeout, or for them to use that timeout. Yeah, I think it's like a different type of flour or something. Like I don't know if it's something that you could make at home with ingredients you have, or if it's like you have to go buy it at, like a specialty
Panko.
store. But it's good. Is panko like common? Like you can find that
Yeah,
anywhere?
you can find that. Yeah, you have to buy it. Like it's a type of bread, right? It's a type of breadcrumbs.
Mhm.
It's lighter calories too, right? That's probably why it doesn't feel as heavy to you.
Yeah.
Here we go here.
St. Brown
Wow.
looks tiny.
Jair Alexander.
Zaps, I see Anthony Lynn is in charge of the clock management in Detroit. Oh, okay. Man, Detroit, they were barely even set properly. I want to see if the...
That was close.
I'm curious if the Green Bay defender was holding onto his arm here.
Why is Kevin King playing press man without help? That was good by him. If that got caught, then
That was
like
close.
you just lose.
Yeah. That was surprisingly close. It was a good effort.
Oh,
Do they still
Jackson,
have-
we talk about this all the time. It's a Adam Carolla thing. You hire a 10-year-old who plays Madden.
It's so weird, Jackson, that's not like more of an emphasis. Like I don't get where the breakdown is. Like I guess if you hire like someone who's strictly analytical and they're in there, pushing their glasses up and telling the coach they need to call a timeout, the coach is just not going to listen. Like that's the only thing I can think of, right?
Why don't they have it like what Deal or No Deal, where it's like a mysterious guy giving offers? He's just in a dark room up in the box. Timeout.
Yeah.
He just whispers into a microphone.
It also just shows you like in the heat
That's
of the
good.
moment when you have skin in the game, like it can be, you could probably speak to this. It's hard to make decisions. Like if you're
Yeah.
not used to doing it, like under pressure like that, it's very, very easy. And like I think we can, if anyone's had like a minute to make a bet and they got to make a decision fast, like you probably have had regret before making a play, at the gun, and it's similar to what they have to deal with.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really do that anymore though. Like that's because that would fall an emotional decision. I don't regret missing out, but people do that. And I guess in this case you have to, right? Like you can't just abstain.
That's why I like the Lombardi story, like when he's talking with his kids about like how many possessions is it going to take to win this game, like seeing the other team's timeouts and the clock management and all that stuff. Like I forget which coach it was. It might have been John Harbaugh, but I remember someone was talking to him one day and they pretty much said that like every single day he was bringing up different scenarios because he wanted to like essentially get those mental reps of like what would you do in this situation. It's like Fat Guy and like when we're not on stream, Fat Guy and I are just hanging out talking. Like there's a lot of stuff like that. It's like, okay, what would you do in this situation?
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of times where I'll call him or he'll call me because we got a weird problem and we want to just like talk it through and
Yeah.
see what kind of decision making is ideal. Yeah, Zaps. That it was a really good attempt by Cephas or Cephas. I don't know how to say his last name.
Bo Cephas.
Yeah, that Cybert mate looked really nice. Lane Kiffin contracts out his game management analytics and never varies from it. That's smart, right? Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you might as well pay someone who does and learn from them.
I don't know if he's being if that's a
He might
jest.
being facetious, but it's like I don't get why. I feel like so many mistakes, at least publicly, come from that. Gronkowski A+ acting in this USAA insurance commercial. Yeah, Jax, I remember you saying that. Are you talking about defensively? Because I was watching that game, but I was like half paying attention, so there wasn't anything that stood out to me. So I'm curious what you didn't like about Tomlin's clock management. Mickey said no, it's a real thing. So that's.
I like that though.
That
makes complete sense.
Kiffin's obviously coaching in college, right? He's not in the NFL because. And
I love it if he was doing that. He used to be the coach of the Raiders for like half a season or something like that. I mean, maybe he's learned. So,
where's he the coach now? Is it Ole Miss? It looks like, yeah. I swear, every single coach in any sport that's related to football has been tied to this USC position. That's great, Mickey. Like that's one of the most forward-thinking things I've heard. I get you, Jackson. Yeah, that's just tough. It's really tough. Like, as a coach with clock management, you should just be doing everything you can to get more possessions in a game. Like, no matter how meaningful or meaningless they are, like, it's just every slight percentage to help your team win. You've got to be doing it. And Ole Miss is playing fantastic under Kiffin. Is this his first year as their coach? Because I'm trying to remember, like, was he with the Raiders and then he just was outed as in the NFL?
That was years ago. So
Yeah,
I think he was with
2008.
USC at one point.
07-08. He's with Tennessee, USC. He was the Alabama offensive coordinator's quarterback coach from 2014 to 2016. Then Florida Atlantic, and now Ole Miss since 2020. 69-39 in college, 5-15 in the NFL. It's funny, like, I don't know how much they're paying to outsource those decisions, but that's got to be money well spent. Because think about, too, like, if you can go in knowing, like, I've kind of got it this year with betting. Like, there's very little, like I've got this sheet set up that we've been using with the membership, and like it's made my decision making process a lot simpler when it comes to making plays. It might not seem like it when I'm doing these videos that are an hour long, but it definitely helps.
Yeah, that's so ironic.
Oh yeah, with teams have been driving with like 28 seconds and no timeouts for field goals. You're telling me that with time, like with over a minute, you couldn't do it? Especially Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh's built to do that as far as Roethlisberger's aggressiveness down the field and the receivers that they have. Oh, he let Ganikowski try a 68-yard field goal at halftime, and Al Davis fired him the next day.
Oh, right. Yes. Good. Mickey's great with the memory on those. But if you're going to pick a guy to pick a 68-yard touchdown, Ganikowski's a decent candidate.
Yeah. And it's pretty crazy. Tennessee managed to come back from 14 down 12 minutes left. And
Love
win
it.
outright. And an interesting fact I heard during the game was Ryan Tannehill used to be the holder for Randy Bullock.
Really?
Yeah. Props to Christian Kirk on that block on that long touchdown.
Yeah. Henry cutting the rugs. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Henry cut the rugs.
Sorry, it's 2 minutes in sports. We're letting the fastest 3 minutes in sports or whatever. We're kind of locked in on Boomer here.
Look at this. Did you see this Damian Harris run? And then Mickey pointed out that Mac Jones helped push him into the end zone.
That's awesome. It's really awesome. That guy's like my type of runner.
That was pretty impressive for Zerline to hit a 56-yarder for them to win.
The leg.
And then I forget which kicker it was, but they hit a 62-yarder, Arizona.
Matt Prater.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me either.
It's still very, very impressive.
Oh yeah, it's unreal.
I actually didn't see any of this Cleveland-Houston game. That touchdown was pretty damn good. I'm guessing Tyrod Taylor never came back because he was 10 for 11.
Yeah. He still might not play, though.
I think Dalton had no structural damage, but it's still uncertain whether he's going to play or not. So good news for you fat guys that the Packers are still minus 239 on the money line.
That gives me a little bit of comfort. I was gonna almost say a word that wasn't comfortability. Like why add? What's wrong with the word comfort? Davis Mills is starting. Oh,
That's tough. I haven't seen him play, so I don't know, but just the general, I just don't know if it's enough for him to overcome what's going on there.
This is Jordan. Jordan poops her pants.
Been there, Jordan. More recently than I care to admit. But luckily, Hello Bello diapers are here to save the day.
These diapers are way too cute for what's about to be inside them.
Jordan, get after it. Fill it up. We believe parents shouldn't have to choose between what's good for their baby and what's good for their budget. Hello Bello is good for both.
So poke around hellobello.com and let us know what you think.
After hours of consecutive video calls, that escape
Okay, I'll have one more beer. Oh, it didn't take much convincing. I'd probably drink two if I knew Davis Mills was going to be starting on Thursday, because that's going to be a game we're live for. We're going to watch every single snap of Davis Mills' first start.
yeah. I don't like our number though, but I did say, yeah. I mean, I did do a big blurb on that.
Yeah, what's the let's take a look and see what the line is for that game.
But it's actually a network. Connecting just about everyone. Just about everyone else. It can open eyes with a cup of coffee and change minds
The line hasn't actually really moved. It's still at 7.5. So maybe he's better than we think, or no.
I don't know. I think he was a 3rd-round pick from 2 years ago.
Kids aren't always up front, but we are. Maple Leaf Natural Selections puts the ingredients on the front of the pack. No artificial preservatives. Only
I like how there was like a
Let's go on the open road with a
um
steak. Get a 20
like they're like, oh, they're not playing
and with points that
Deshaun Watson. Well, like
Green beats fast.
like was there a
Best Western.
argue like was there he didn't get beat out for the job by Tyrod Taylor.
Design our products around you and the way you live. Because we know
Yeah.
humans are happiest when we're doing
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Well, like, no, I completely know what's going on. I shouldn't say that. It's like he's not playing. There's just no circumstance at this time that's not like a legal thing where he's gonna play.
He's right. It is disgusting.
It's a nail fungus infection. You have to treat it.
There are my shows, your shows, and our shows. The kids' shows.
Well, that's the Panthers are 2-0. Asper
The
perception is high.
The breaking news shows.
Yeah, perhaps.
The oh, you're gonna watch that shows. TV dinner shows. And the don't you dare finish this without me shows. With the Bell 5 TV app, you can watch your shows on any screen.
Interesting to note for anybody that cares, but Tennessee Seattle was the lowest bet game of the week, according
Strange.
to Action Network.
Are we just Tennessee homers, or?
Well,
Like, that's a
maybe-
team that this channel likes.
And maybe it's just like a population thing that it's a West Coast game and there's less people in Seattle than anywhere else, I guess. Well, it's the 10th biggest market, I think, in the U.S., so I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
Tennessee's really small though.
Back at Lambeau Field, getting ready for our third quarter action. 17-14 Detroit. 3 stars of the game. Senior cheesehead, the 2 quarterbacks. What a night so far for Jared Goff. Rodgers has been accurate and efficient. Both quarterbacks with 2 touchdown passes. As welcome you to boot.
Hey, Jax, have a good one.
Lisa shortly. Listen, full mark.
have a good night, Jackson.
No way the Packers expected to be trailing.
Zap said, never thought I'd see Sam Darnold as a touchdown favorite on the road. For him's missed a huge opportunity for not hiring Zim for commercials instead of Gronk.
That was a Mickey name, I think. One of the contests.
Catch for the Packers, and 2, they have not gotten enough pressure on Jared Goff on the defensive side.
Yeah, speaking of which, Jared Goff tonight, according to Next Gen Stats, average time to throw 3.28 seconds, the second longest time to throw of his career. Quarterbacks get that amount of time, you know. You guys are sitting back there nice and comfortable, patting that football a few times, and you'll rip up any defense you give them that amount of time. They're going to have to change that up.
Green Bay wanted to establish the run. They'll get the football here first. They carried the football 15 times a week ago. They had 15 rushes in the first half, and they still find themselves trailing. Austin Seibert will put it in the air. Kylan Hill had the big return for the Packers in the second quarter.
We need some punts. I think we had 2. Oh man, this has got to be against Green Bay though.
A 33-yard return. Will Harris on the tackle. Let's see the penalty markers. 2 flags on the play.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both during the return. Holding against a return team, number 58, that penalty is declined. Holding against a return team, number 28, that penalty is accepted and forced 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Green Bay.
And here's Lisa Salters.
Yeah, Steve, you guys said it. The Packers' offense seems to be back on track, but I asked Matt LaFleur what's going on with his defense. A Packers D that has already given up 7 touchdown passes.
Hey, Matt, what's going on with your D?
They're gonna pick you apart. As for the Lions, Dan Campbell was fired up as usual. He said, "We're fighting
establish that run. Pick up a 3 on first down. Trey Flowers made the tackle. Haven't mentioned
LaFleur is well, he comes from the McVay Center for Grooming. It feels like very well put together young men.
Rookie corners that were starting against Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, and they've given up 3 catches, and they've held Aaron Rodgers under 100 yards passing.
second and 7.
They're acting like they held Aaron Rodgers to under 100 yards passing. He hasn't even tried to pass. Like what did like
Forced him out. 15 rookies or first-year players on this Lions
Pam can get it. JS715.
What's going on, John?
That was one of the better names I've heard. Oh, was that so good? Has anyone ever like said a good thing about Wish.com?
that was gold too.
And these guys are starting to buy in. And tonight you're seeing that come to fruition, and you're seeing the results so far.
back to Jones.
Another Aaron Jones run.
You know, about the teaching on the defensive side. We talked about Aaron Glenn. They also Aaron Glenn brought over his old coach in Dom Capers. And it was here in Green Bay for 8 or 9 years. I saw him down on the field before the game, and he was excited about some of these young guys.
This is a like it's you say it's a slow moving game, like in terms of how many plays have been ran, but the clock's been running this entire time. It's my type. I don't mind these. I feel like the defense can play a bit better on both sides, but I mean the Lions have less talent, so they should be, you know what I mean? They shouldn't be competing on par with Green Bay. I can't believe they ran that play on 2nd and 2. And Michael Brocker's getting sacks. Come on.
You're going to see Michael Brockers right here. You're just going to see him loop outside, and you're going to see, you know, it's just all effort. It's just all effort. You see Elton Jenkins get pushed back into the pocket and makes Aaron have to retreat. He wants to spin out to his left, and Brockers is like, As a matter of fact, go ahead. I'm right here waiting for you.
This is going to make it a tough third down play, 3rd and 12.
Well, you're asking a lot there, JS715.
Lions defense. Rodgers steps and fires. Adams is there and he's got it.
He got hit,
Holy.
and that's unbelievable.
Devontae Adams working on the rookie Melifonwu.
Yeah, it told you a reverse Samson thing. That was awesome. I think Rodgers got hit on that play though.
And then just kind of bend it outside, and you see Melifonwu, he plays it right. He's supposed to like not look back, try and
Adams just looks so good on that play.
his hand too early.
That ball was in a bucket too though.
The perfect throw, and that's the perfect throw.
Boy, to add injury to insult there, it looked like Melifonwu grabbed his
Oh, and the star to
And the
watch
corner
is
went
down.
down to the turf. They cannot afford it with Jeff Okudah already.
I wonder if he's related to Obi Melifonwu, the much injury-riddled safety that was drafted by the Raiders about 4 or 5 years ago. He must be. I mean, like how common of a last name is that? Probably
Not very
Nigerian, I
common.
guess.
Need a reason to try our grass-fed beef? Mama Burger, $2.50. Grass-fed beef. I said grass-fed beef, right? $2.50 Mama Burger. Order ahead on the app. Nearest A&W.
No business is an island, and business is better when the parts inside of it connect together. Your customers, your schedules, and your staff, all in sync. And what you sell in person, working with how you sell online. With Square, it's all connected, so you can get a head start on shaping what's to come.
Canadians are making changes to help the environment, and we want to do our part too. Introducing new Royale paper pack. The same quality products in durable.
A lot of dead air with these great commercials, guys. I'm
I know.
sorry.
I feel so responsible for it, but I mean, just you're catching me in a down energy. It's tough. Would you have a veggie sandwich, Big Rye?
No, it had a little bit of meat in there. Some sliced deli meat.
Yeah, your favorite?
Hey, beggars can't be choosers.
No, absolutely not. Look at me. I'm the world's fattest beggar. And the backers haven't really changed their logo over this entire time. It's pretty good. Same with Dallas. There's something I like about that. I don't like Dallas's though, the star. Then I say that so of the Lions. When's the last NFL championship the Lions won? Like 1955 or something?
It was before my time.
Oh, nice. Aaron Rodgers. 10th all time. Man. Who stood him up there, though? He didn't get pushed back. Yeah, Jamie Collins. That makes sense. This might be the time to start slinging it here for the Pack. Who's 49? Oh, nice. Anzalone keeping him in check there.
Was 49 on the Packers or on the Lions? When you said who's 49?
Oh, 49 on the Packers. I saw him motion out. He was a fullback, it looked like. Or he was lined up at that.
I think his name was, I saw it earlier, Daphne, I think it was. Wow, what a...
Oh, my goodness.
What a dime by Aaron
Oh,
Rodgers.
my goodness. Like, he looks like he's not into it. And then you see that and the pass before.
Nice one, Mickey. And that was a rope, John. Holy.
I can't, like, that was just a dot. Holy. Holy. You can't throw it better than that. Oh, my good. Holy.
He's got ice in the veins, like he showed us there.
Conjure tight end fantasy. Well, there you go. There's 6 and change. Maybe 7 and change. I'm not sure how long that was. Maybe 8 and change. This game doesn't have the excitement of the like the energy it feels like of the last night's football game, but like this is pretty good. Let's be honest.
You can just put those boxes down.
Who helped you turn all this around? The source, of course.
Where can you find
You're going against Aaron Jones? Yeah, tough, tough man, tough.
Of course.
Since I switched to frustrate, the lower fees are
You have a bunch of injured corners now, though. I mean, there's no reason not to attack them through the air. Not that the tight end throw is necessarily attacking corners, but
Canada's #1 rated online broker.
Business is never one-sided. It's a conversation between your front of house and your back of house, between taking payments and taking care of your team.
wonder how hard making noodles would be. I've made pasta before, and it's not that hard.
With Square, the
I actually kind of like it. It's fun. It's just a big mess.
all speak the same language, so you can spend more time shaping the
It only takes like a minute to cook too. That's another nice thing about fresh pasta.
Golf's elite unite, where rivals join forces. Two teams, the U.S. versus Europe.
I've never watched the Ryder Cup, but I feel like I'm going to be receiving some bets on it. Golf's odds are too long for me to take bets on, though, because just the risk is so high. I don't like laying stuff off either.
Yeah, it's tough if guys are going to be betting like 80 to 1.
Like 80 to 1 and stuff like that. Yeah, like I don't want. I almost took one where I would have had to pay out like decent 5 digits, but you know I was gonna arbitrage a little bit, but I'm like, what am I doing? I'm good. Because like, what am I gonna in EV? I'm gonna make like $9, you know, or $30. No, for that amount, it would have been like a couple hundred, but still, like I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable doing it, even with an insurance policy, which I had to pay to eat into my profits too. So.
And listen, I'm not sure he can get to Matt Ryan, right? He's what, 4,500-ish yards away from
Matt Ryan has more passing yards than Aaron Rodgers.
Just looking
That
at that,
seems
even
bizarre.
Eli too.
Yeah, Eli played longer, so I kind of get it. But Matt Ryan, I mean, oh, that snap looked weird.
What a play call. Bet against the U.S., said Mickey, so encourage those U.S.
They're
bets.
the favorites. I like how Goff kind of went down, like almost like I feel like he's trying to put his helmet near the defender's hands. Like I'm gonna like lean my head in there, you know, because maybe I can get a call here.
Possibly, yeah.
It's possible. Yeah, of course you love to see it. It's great. This defense has been Swiss cheese. Holy. Apropos of their helmets. Yeah, Aaron didn't play his first 3 years. That's true, Mickey. It's just weird to see. Man, they are picking on Devondre Campbell, and I don't blame them. I don't find him to be that strong of a linebacker. That's why he's on his, what, 4th team or whatever. He started with Atlanta. I don't even remember who he was on the year before. I think he played on the Patriots as well. Oh, Vaitai. He is one of the best first names ever. I can't say it. It's Halaputi. I can't even get it out. Someone look it up. Vaitai's first name. Halapuli. I can't. I had it down. I had to get it down for a video, and I spent some time on it, but I can't remember now. Like I said, the wires are crossed. Oh, you went back to Atlanta? Okay. Remember Deion Jones and that hype around him? Like, oh, this is the next big one. We need a punt. Well, I mean, this is the down, right? I don't know. This should be 4-down territory for me, but especially if I'm down and I'm, you know, it's the Lions, but. Oh my goodness. And Amos giving up on Hawkinson. Oh man.
There was a 3rd and 1, and Dan Campbell decided to throw the football, not going against his nature. Hey, we're going to make it physical. We're going to come and hit you in the mouth kind of game. No, he's one step ahead right now of Joe Barry. 3rd and 1. Again, he throws the ball, gets a matchup that he likes on T.J. Hawkinson, knowing he's going to be man-to-man and 3rd and short, whereas 1st and 2nd down, they're doubling.
Hawkinson's having a crazy good game here. I mean, 56 yards doesn't seem like much, but they've been tough yards, and his touchdown was tough too.
That came out like a duck.
Yeah, John. Deion Jones, like that hype was big, but
Well, the athleticism was there, and it shows you, like, when a guy's one of the best athletes at his position and he picks up an injury, like it takes a lot out of out of that player.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. But Kuechly was more like a cerebral player, and I guess linebacker is such a weird thing because the amortization's got to be high, right? Like at the very highest levels, like you can play okay for many years, but like Kuechly retired pretty early, right? Is Kuechly a Hall of Famer?
I think so.
No, is he?
I do. Yeah.
That's a good
I don't know.
question.
I don't know how long he played for. That's probably the only
I
thing
think it was
going
8
against
years.
him. But like he was arguably the best player at the position pretty much the entire time he was in the league.
It falls in line with Patrick Willis, right? And I feel Patrick Willis is a Hall of Famer, oddly enough.
In 2016, I was working at the Amazon warehouse.
Hell yes for Mickey.
Passed away, and a couple of years later, my mother passed away. After taking care of them,
Like I'm trying to think of like who was like he was the best guy. Like I can't even think of who was even close to him during that time.
There's nobody at that position. That's a pretty rare position now, though, to excel at.
Like who's the best linebacker in the league right now?
What like inside
Yeah. Stand up.
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy. Derek Johnson, that's a few years ago. He was for a time. I don't think Derek Johnson was better than Willis or oh man. I don't think Colts Leonard. I'll take Wagner over Leonard. I don't mind Leonard though. I think Patrick Willis was better than Derek Johnson. I think Patrick Willis was the best inside linebacker I've seen, including Ray Lewis. So I'll put that out there. Put my name on that one. 3rd and 8. Can you get off the field here? This is the question, right? Like if you can't get off the field against the Lions, you got issues, Even though the Lions have played a lot better than we would have expected, if you can't get off the field here, come on now. Like how you supposed to go deep here if you can't get off the field in this position?
Decisions coming up here.
I can't believe that was even a reception. You should go for it here as a dog.
I think so too.
Yeah, Van Der Esch was great. He played for the Dallas Cowboys, but he had a neck injury, and that really was it. His rookie season was fantastic, and then they might have the best linebacking crew though, aside from Tampa Bay. Oh, Devin White. Devin White's got to be up there too for Tampa Bay.
I don't like that they're lining up in shotgun.
Whoa. Big shift in probabilities there. Bobby Wagner, Devin White now I'm starting to think though, like just because the athleticism is still at peak levels for him. So there's some guys that are good, but they're not great, like Roquan Smith as well. Yeah, he did. But Sean Lee, did he ever really play? He played so minimally. I didn't feel that Sean Lee was a good representation of a linebacker. I mean, he could play the position well, but he didn't play as tough, and he didn't play through injury, and that's just what you have to do in that position, to be honest. You're getting in car accidents. Oh man, he's a name that shall not be mentioned. Much like Lestat in Interview with a Vampire, but for very, very disgusting reasons. But Telvin Smith was up there for me too.
Let me guess, you went with the spicy McNuggets.
Sean Lee wasn't tough though. He was good at the position, right?
Don't mess with perfection.
What if the spice makes perfection more perfect? What if you love him? You just don't know it.
Well, I better try one. Before they're gone.
Singletary, yeah, going back that far, absolutely. Yeah, I have 3 copies of it somehow, Tony. That's the only thing I end up winning in a breakup is I get to end up with the DVDs. Oh, Fred Warner's got the contract of a linebacker that's high up there. I checked. I have like 400 DVDs. It's so weird to have it's just like an obsolete, antiquated medium. Mind you, saying obsolete and antiquated is completely redundant. So, for a guy who says he's long-winded, I'm not trying very hard to fix it.
You changed the game and write a new ending.
Yeah, well, that's not the same type of player, Mickey, but yeah, absolutely.
It says here that the Texans are starting a 5th-round rookie at linebacker in Garrett Wallow. I haven't watched them that closely to know.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. Oh. Aaron seemed annoyed with that. Maybe he just lost his footing. Well, this might be a 3-and-out from Green Bay. Yikes.
I've been looking through the linebacker position, like stand-up linebackers or off-ball linebackers, and big play by Cobb, but a flag on the play. There's just not a lot of good linebackers in the NFL right now.
No. Well, the position has been devalued, right? Micah Parsons could rise to the occasion. He's drafted that way. Isaiah Simmons is another one. Wow. Aaron Rodgers got a free play there. Why is he the only guy that can pull this off? Oh my! What a masterful play by Aaron Rodgers there. Oh, they did it. Yeah. He does, Mickey. It's just not as pronounced. This flag's got to be on against Green Bay.
Yeah. Lawrence Taylor was pretty good.
Yeah. He was more of a pass rusher though, but like it's linebacker. He's probably the best defensive player of all time. It's 1st and 20 here. That's a flag. Rodgers is a genius. He threw it short, I feel like, to draw that flag. No, they don't. And they kind of should, Tony. I've always thought that. What's his name? DeAndre Hopkins was advocating for that because, I mean, imagine they have contract incentives on that. It'd have to be included in passing yards too then.
Even that would be like you'd shoot under because they wouldn't get any yards after the catch, which in some of these cases would definitely be.
Yeah. Mickey Hill looking for the under here, asking for a field goal from the football gods.
And he says, I'm Robert, and Rogers calls him Bobby. And from that point on, he's been Bobby in the locker room. It fits him. Tunyon said he hasn't been called Bobby since kindergarten, but he lets it go because it's Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers all sorts of time. And let's see if that's intercepted. It's going to go incomplete.
No. That was dangerous, though.
Tracy Walker. Big time. And they could have used that. Lions now.
They did earlier. I don't know about this play just now against Devontae Adams.
Looked like Devontae gave up on the route. Now he's going to work, and this ball's thrown behind, and Devontae's trying to break it up. Did he get a hand on
That.
it? He did.
Oh wow, what a play by Devontae Adams, because that
Oh,
ball was going to
man.
hit Tracy Walker in the chest if
hands.
it didn't.
Might have hit him in the hands anyways.
It's a little bit interesting that the live money line is higher than what the game started at, but the handicap is lower.
Well, the time, right?
Yeah.
And you got to give Anzalone some credit. He's on Randall Cobb there, and he gave up a small gain. That's pretty good. And then we talk about linebackers, and then the guy that's like most stable in the NFL is probably Blake Martinez. I mean,
He was a guy that definitely caught my eye when I was
like how
looking
many
through the
yards,
list.
or sorry, how many tackles that guy gets a year, right?
Yeah. And then the guy in Tampa, what is it, Devin?
I brought him up, Devin White.
Yeah, it's. I
Yeah,
think
and then there's
he might
Levante
be up
Davis,
there.
like the two in that spot, which is crazy.
Well, it's like what they had with Kuechly and Thomas Davis, who were an excellent combination.
Well, Bowman and Patrick Willis, or you could even go on Jacksonville. They had Miles Jack, Telvin Smith. That was a pretty
Yeah.
good crew.
And KJ
Telvin
Wright
Smith was unreal.
with
Bobby
Seattle.
Wagner, yeah. They have Jordan Brooks now. I think he's the 2. Nice move. Who is on Adams there, though?
It looked
That
like
look- these
Trey
numbers-
Flowers.
Why?
I think he just read the play and didn't rush and drop back.
He looked like he was lined up over him. Trey Flowers on Devontae Adams. He's probably laughing. Like, okay,
I think it was more like a heads-up play by Flowers than anything.
because no one was there.
You go to rush and the quarterback's already got the ball out of his hands. There's no point in
Yeah.
keep still rushing. I think that's who 90 is up at the top.
Yeah.
They did it again where Flowers left the pass rush to cover Aaron Jones.
Wow. Starting to rain there, it looks like. Or it has been for a little bit. Good job. He didn't lead him into a hit. Threw a little behind him.
I just don't know. I really don't know how you can play zone in the NFL.
Yeah. No, me neither. And why not just like be aggressive on defense instead of like this give up like these plays? Because it's like almost inevitable, right? It's like dying a slow death. I always hated that. You saw Urlacher? Brian Urlacher was overrated? Yeah. He's a good player, but like
Well, I
seen
felt
him
like
get
he.
punks. Go ahead.
I just felt like he deteriorated as it went along, right?
Yeah.
Like he was still a big name that was talked about. Because like I'm just thinking like back then you'd have like linebackers would actually be talked about. Like I feel like there's barely any linebacker talk now.
Mention, yeah. Stacy giving us a weather update. Yeah, there was a storm here too, oddly enough, way far away. But yeah, that makes sense. Wisconsin in September.
Williams, gain of 5, receiving stands.
From the cheers, it sounds
Barr
like
still
it's going to
pining over
be.
Matthews. Matthews was incredible for like 6-7 years.
They're going to get Anzalone, who's in man-to-man coverage on Robert Tanya.
The Boz, yeah, not college, or sorry, not in the NFL.
Holding defense. Number 34. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the result of the play. Automatic first down. So Rodgers is attacking Anzalone. He's
Holding is such a tough one. The automatic first down.
They're gonna fake it here and trying to get Anzalone to bite up. And he just hooks that arm and it gets called. There's no question there.
I don't get that either, right? Like you're 10 yards off and you're just going to sprint at the guy who's sprinting at you. Like I don't get why that's.
AJ Hawk, yeah, that was, he played for years. Watch out, be careful, don't hurt yourself. Oh my goodness. James Laurinaitis. I couldn't believe James Laurinaitis, his dad was part of the Legion of Doom, like the tag team. Oh man. And then if you go Laurinaitis, you go Paul Plesney. Those guys were just tough standard linebackers. Not really like the athleticism of today.
Is a great example of what Dan Campbell's talking about, the margin for error. We had him at 1st and 20. That is hard to convert in the red zone. You get a foul that gives him a free first down, and it's hard to recover.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, the Road Warriors. Okay, so Zaps or I guess your fantasy dreams are hurt here with Aaron Jones with another touchdown.
It's interesting. It's a 10-point game. I'm guessing there's going to be an extra point here for the Packers that'll most likely put them up 11. But the live handicap is 9.5, which I find just a weird line. Extra points good, so that puts them up 11.
That's a good number for me.
You could see from that that replay that the rain's starting to fall, or we can at least see the rain that is falling there. What is the contest spread? That is a good question.
We're not covering, I don't think. I think it was 10.5. I'm almost certain.
Detroit 10.5. That's what we have. The interesting thing, though, is that, like, Detroit turned it over on downs, but otherwise they've been pretty efficient on offense, so.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means for them on this next drive, but as long as you beat Dildo.
I hope you are. I hope you do, rather.
I'm guessing Mickey has it as has Green Bay.
No, he's got a. No,
I know he's got the
the
OU. I'm talking about the contest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I like those shades. Aaron Jones is
He always wears them. He looks very like Macho Man Randy Savage on the sidelines
no,
at
no.
times.
There's a weird low budget Van Damme movie called Cyborg, and he looks like the bad guy in it. I'm gonna watch that tonight now. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Disastrous play here for the Detroit Lions.
Oh, oh man. Oh man.
So huge opportunity here for the Packers.
Dude, Jackson's inching closer to beating me with that.
What does Jackson have, the Packers defense?
Packers defense. He's just under 3 points behind me after that. It's hard to call that like just blame Goff on that. Like,
Have a good night, Jay.
see you, Jay. Have a good one. Don't have a hangover tomorrow. Yeah, there's a like, I mean, yeah, but there's also the propensity to turn it over is higher again. But again, I'm kind of safe. If he gets 2 points from a turnover, it's not the end of the world again. I'm still behind, and they should get closer. I'm not sure what the rules are on ours, if ours includes yards.
It's probably a defensive touchdown type of thing. Really,
Yeah,
or
they
it's
might have
multiple turnovers. Like probably 3. But definitely higher variance, because you think that the Lions are going to have to be more aggressive to try to come back to win, assuming that they're trying to win.
There's a negative yard penalty as well. So who was I meant to say? Steven Seagal? Was that the supposed martial arts actor from the 80s who was a big? Well, I don't think that was minimized to 1. What's his name? Van Damme was just a giant cokehead. Seagal was a total asshole. I think the most liked one was Dolph Lundgren, Dolph Lundgren was the smartest and probably toughest out of all those guys. Yeah, they did, John. Absolutely. Like, it's totally possible here. You know, there's a negative yards against is a negative thing too. So, I should be okay barring some more turnovers. And a defensive touchdown would definitely, or a special teams touchdown would hurt me. What a nice play design. What a nice play design. He faked everyone out. I know it looked too casual when I saw it, but I'm in the I'm in the booth essentially, right? Like seeing that live.
This is gonna sound so strange, but I almost feel like the cover chances for Detroit are better if Green Bay gets a touchdown. Talking about 11.5.
You might be right. Oh yeah, they're close to getting taking another point off the Lions for yards, so I'm probably okay. I watched Steven Seagal. His movies are horrible, except Under Siege, because Tommy Lee Jones' character William Stranix is very funny to me, and I like him. It's a good bad guy. Yeah, that's a famous one. John Leguizamo talks about that story about Gene LaBelle choking out Seagal and him soiling himself. 2nd and goal here. what a segue. What's the money? The live money line, Big Rye. It's got to be like minus 1,000 or minus 1,200 for Green Bay.
I think it was that after the touchdown, so I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, the touchdown. Oh, then it's probably off the board
now. It's currently not listed. Pretty key play here, so I'm sure it'll change quite drastically here depending on what happens.
That looked like PI. Alex Anzalone having a tough day. And Aaron Jones is probably going to eat here in a really... Also, too, coming back is a bit tougher now with the weather. Not that they need any more difficulties, the Lions.
Really nice run from Aaron Jones.
Yeah, he's just been fantastic. How many? 4 touchdowns? Yeah. 3 rushing and 1 receiving. Man. Goodbye under. Yeah, hello over. Turner and Hooch is a Disney movie? They have a new Mighty Ducks? Holy. There's a Disney Plus thing.
Sorry, I'm just reading more about this Steven Seagal and LaBelle thing, and it's so great.
Oh, you didn't know about that one?
No, it said
Gene LaBelle is a really tough guy.
LaBelle is said to have, or the popularity of this incident led LaBelle to be counted in 1992 as a potential additional member of Robert Wall's controversial Dirty Dozen, a group of martial artists willing to answer to a public challenge made by Seagal. So, I'm guessing this happened more than once.
John, please don't apologize for one of the best jokes I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It
We
was so
loved it.
spot on. It was terrific.
I couldn't give it to you that for the week though, because I mean we hired Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam to call out your name every show. You got the praise there, so if there's someone close, you have to get him on just an honorable mention. But that was one of my favorite jokes I've ever heard. And then it made me think, like, does Wish.com have anything of quality? It's like a giant Chinese scam. Is it still in the Lakers? Is it still in the Lakers uniforms?
What? The Wish.com?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. To add on to this, it says that when Seagal was asked about the incidents, he denied it took place, calling LaBelle a sick, pathological scumbag liar.
Yes, he did do that.
And then LaBelle's trainee, Ronda Rousey, assured Seagal was the one lying and said, if Seagal says anything bad about Gene to my face, I'd have him crap his pants a second time. It's pretty good.
You didn't know this? All right.
No, it's not a lot of Seagal talk around my house.
Usually just about his gait. He's probably the worst runner, short or long distance, in terms of visual.
I kind of want to find like a supercut of him running in movies. It's got to be a thing, right? Someone's got to have made that.
4 touchdowns. I feel like Aaron Jones has done this multiple times.
Oh wow, what a interesting play design, but the right tackle, or Ragnow, just lost positioning there on that play. Apparently, Gene LaBelle is 1-0 in his MMA career.
Yep. I'm pretty sure he was the inspiration for one of the main characters in, or I think Brad Pitt's character in particular in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the last Tarantino movie. And Hawkinson getting some targets, hey? It still said Taylor's status uncertain rather than confirming Davis Mills.
We got an interesting spot coming up
I
here.
think that's a first down. Yeah, they got to give him that.
This is definitely one of those plays where they give the first down before the ball's even spotted.
Yeah.
But that was a close one. Apparently they gave it to him, at least according to ESPN's ticker. I didn't notice that, but the referee actually kept the ball underneath his towel and was like wiping it off until he put it down.
I'm way less of a hockey guy, John, than Big Rye is, but when he played on Ottawa, so the exposure was high, so it was perfect.
Yeah, the Carlson reference was terrific.
It's fantastic.
a big ship to turn. You know, after what went down with Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, there's a lot to correct. And Dan Campbell's got a lot on his plate. Unfortunately, it's kind of gotten out of hand tonight. But the first half, they showed you what they could be. 9 penalties for the Lions tonight so far. Williams taken down by Barnes, gain of 6. And I do believe Dan
I have to say though, I actually don't mind Dan Campbell's performance so far as a coach in comparison to Matt Patricia. Like I think that this has been better so far.
Well, I think
it's not a high bar.
I think it's that we expected more from Patricia than we did of Dan Campbell.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know how good Campbell's been, but it's better than we thought, and that was bottom of the barrel.
Very bottom of the barrel.
So it's going to be 3rd and Mandeville here. 3rd and 4, it looks like.
As Campbell told us, his mom said at an early age, you're either going to be a great leader or wind up in prison. And there he is. That was a great quote by him. Leading on the Lions sideline. Got a lot of love, right, for all the coffee he's going to drink. People love his press conference. Will bite you in the kneecap and all that. He's an enjoyable,
Generous spot here.
but you said it. It's a big ship to turn around in Detroit. But if you can do it, you'll be a hero in Motown.
Oh, no. Disastrous for Goff. This is one of those ones where you kind of have to go for it at this point of the game.
Yeah.
And he's walking off the sidelines, so pretty much white flag for Detroit.
Goff had already dropped the football, but that's a good pass rush. That's what they expect out of him. But again, that margin for error.
He has such a long release, guys, that when the ball comes down like that and it's wet, he almost has to grip it from above, and that's where he gets in trouble versus quarterbacks that keep 2 hands on the ball.
And that is, guys, the first sack of the season by this Green Bay defense. Fox from the 20. Good kick in the rain. Rodgers able to hang on to the football. It's a 56-yard.
Have a good night,
Campbell's
Tony.
See you, Tony. Have a good one.
Yeah, Campbell's on Green Bay, -11. Detroit, why you always lying?
Every game starts 0-0. But does it?
Because I play on the team least expected to win. Underestimated. Overlooked.
With often very few in our corner.
And break.
Benefit of the doubt? Unlikely.
Alt spread -17.
Margin for error.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could you go that high? I think it's possible.
I think it depends what the actual line is usually, because I feel like they try to keep it within a range unless there's like certain key numbers they'll hand out.
Well, there's something called points betting in Asia, and you can do that. It's insane though. Like it's like lightning betting kind of.
Yeah.
So
Like every
I'm-
point a team is above, you get a certain amount of payout.
the range, yeah. There's got to be a way if they probably don't put it out like or entertain it, these books, because there's got to be a way to, like, they probably don't have a strong math grapple on it.
Well, I just think it's, you have to think most bettors are pretty casual. Like I don't know if a lot of
The interest
lot
too, for
of
the amount
guys
of work
wanna
it would
do
be.
Yeah.
And also too, some of that's on credit, right? Because you don't know what you owe.
Yeah.
I want to die watching this team. Well, I mean, if you expected a lot, I don't think that's fair to yourself.
Well, it's tough if you're from Michigan. Like you're watching the home team, right? It's kind of ride or die.
Wow, I haven't seen a spread that big, Jake. Holy.
Give me NFL for 2000. NFL for 2000. The only quarterback with a better Monday Night Football single venue than Aaron Rodgers' 8-1 record at Lambeau Field.
Oh, that's so easy, Aaron, Alex.
Whatever you call him.
That's got to be Brady in Foxborough, right?
Yeah.
No, you're not. That's why we rehearsed it so much better than this. From the 15, Rodgers. Wants to throw on the run and
Nice play.
Davante Adams. Got the question, the only quarterback with a better Monday Night Football record at a single venue than Aaron Rodgers' 8-1 record at Lambeau. Who is Steve Young?
Oh, nice.
Candlestick Park. And the categories we should
Oh, not who I would have thought.
nod to Norm Macdonald, famous for playing Burt Reynolds on SNL's Celebrity Jeopardy sketch, who passed away this past Tuesday at the age of 61. You saw moths there.
Right. S-words.
S-words. If you get it, you get it. We miss Norm Macdonald for sure.
Man, lots of Norm Macdonald references in that skit.
Yeah. Wow. They had two defenders had him dead to rights.
Play that's A.J. Dillon for 8.
Favre at Lambeau would have been a good one too, Mickey. Yeah.
Candlestick into the broadcast.
Trying to think somebody else.
I don't even know how many quarterbacks have had 10 Monday Night Football games where they've started at home. Like, that's a hard stat to even have.
I'm trying to
start
think,
with.
right? I'm trying to think of stadiums that haven't changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Joe Roby, I was thinking Marino, but Joe Roby got built, I think, in the early 90s.
Is there a scrum after the end of that? Oh, yeah. Oh, a bad one, too.
After every play. 2nd and 2. Rodgers wants to throw. And does. And completes. Dillon Adams.
Nice play.
Good for 7.
I love when players hand the ball to the referee. It's just, I don't know what it is.
In scramble situations, but he's the guy who late in the game with that big body type, 6 foot, 247 pounds. That's exactly what defenses don't want to see at this point after a long night and the game has gotten away from you.
How about the Lions' start to the season, their schedule? 49ers come here to play the Packers and return home. Look at the Ravens next Sunday. That's a tough 3 games to start the season.
Really nice tackle by 27.
Wanted to see improvement each and every week. That was his main thing. And I
Backup
That was
corner
a-
Price in for the injured
what happened a week ago against the
player with a
Belafonte.
name. Thank you.
build off of what they did in
That 19 had a good opportunity there because you got a one-on-one, right? You kind of want to sink those in when you're not Davante Adams. You want to take advantage of every play when you're not. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think your roster spot is ever really safe.
I really do feel like the Packers picked on Collins and Anzalone tonight.
Yeah, well, I felt like the Lions picked on Campbell, particularly in the first half, and they got results. They were up. Lions were up 17-14 and a half.
Well, there's no question that they need more reinforcements on that side of the ball. You can't lose Jeff Okuda and then lose Melifonwu in this game against this kind of a passing attack that is going to stress your coverage principles in every way imaginable. Whether you're man zone, whether you're in fire zone, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Technically 0-2.
Be on it. You better have your best players out there, or Aaron will find your weaknesses. And it just caught up.
Unless you're talking about your bets this year. Not 100% sure what you're referring to as 0-3,
Yeah.
unless you're just assuming the Lions are going to lose their next game. Because who do the Lions play next week? Take a look. Oh, you're already counting a loss against the Ravens? What are they, 7.5-point dogs at home? There's always a chance. That's why they play the games.
Players almost never saw from Canada in the NFL. Receiver, defensive back, running back.
We each have 3 different paths, but at the end of the day, our northern ties are indeed
Uninterrupted Northern Ties on TSN.
Yes, hello. I'm so.
Then they play the Bears in Chicago, the Vikings in Minnesota. They have the Bengals at home, Rams in LA, Eagles.
You could win 3 in a row there.
The Lions aren't going to win the Super Bowl, but they're going to be more competitive, I think, than I originally thought. And it might not feel like it after these 2 games, but they've shown glimmers of hope.
The McDonald's Egg BLT McMuffin is back with a freshly cracked egg, crispy hickory smoked bacon, lettuce, and tomato. It's the perfect combination of fresh and delicious. Available all day for a limited time.
We put a lot of stress on our feet. It's no wonder they ache. Introducing ArchFit from Skechers. ArchFit distributes pressure across the arch to make walking more comfortable.
Live line is 18 points.
And available for men and women. ArchFit, new from Skechers.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to make these. What record are we going to be? Everything has a probability. You could end up not winning any. You could win 5 in a row. It's possible. Yeah, absolutely, John. But I mean, that's why, like, I try and bet against people that are, you know, fall for recency bias, right? Like, oh, the Packers are terrible, you know, after week 1. Well, it's Aaron Rodgers' worst loss. I mean, yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers' worst loss. He's going to have one of them, you know? And he's going to have a best win, too, right? And then the Saints, oh, yeah, they're unbelievable. They had one game that went nice, you know? And then one game that went insanely poorly. So I know you're not reactive like that, but it's so commonplace. It's sports. It's emotional.
But Aaron Rodgers preaches patience. It's just one game, and they seem to have figured things out. Well, the first half, not so much, but it was a dominant third quarter, and here in the fourth as well. 35-17 Green Bay, 4:46 to play. Rodgers with a pump, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Third sack of the night. Charles Harris gets it for Detroit.
That's A.J. Dillon, the running back. They need him on third downs. They're trying to work him in because they can't just have Aaron Jones out there because Jamal Williams is no longer with the team, and an opportunity for him to step in there. That's tough. As tough as it gets, especially a big man like Jamie Collins coming through the A gap.
Haven't said Corey Bojorquez too much tonight. He had the longest punt of last season, 72 yards, and the shortest punt of last season, 12. His second punt of the night is a good one. And Khalif Raymond for Detroit trying to make the move. Scamper out at about the 20. 55-yard punt. All Packers here at Green Bay tonight.
You started to believe Dylan Dodfield after week 1? Oh. That's a steep decline in cognitive ability.
Tonight, I'll be eating salmon sushi with a Japanese jiggly cheesecake. Jolly good. Fire. Nice. Yeah. Spare a pound. What? You know, bones, shillings, lolly. Bangers and mash. I'm sorry. I don't have any money. You don't look broke. My rocket is skint.
Today, let's paint with New Bear Dynasty so that you can be proud of your walls.
Go ahead, pour your wine on.
What?
It's also scuff resistant.
Yeah, I hope so, Zaps. I definitely hope so. Because I think he would have got the money line was 4-1, so they probably could have cashed him out for like 100 and something grand. I know it sounds like a ripoff, right, on a $700,000 parlay, but like, yeah, maybe, yeah, 170 grand, something like that.
With remote smart parking assist. Surround view monitor. A 10.25-inch touchscreen with standard Apple CarPlay. Panoramic sunroof and H-Track all-wheel drive. Discover the all-new Hyundai Tucson.
In the beginning of a relationship, you just believe that nothing can hurt you. And then you realize that anything can hurt you.
And tried so hard to make sense of what happened.
Have a good night, John.
See you, sir.
The NFC East is the Eagles, the Cowboys. Always a good time when they get together. A couple of 1-1 teams. The Eagles were so impressive week one. Cowboys really could be 2-0. They played a great first game. Dak Prescott and the boys off to a tremendous start. Had a thrilling victory over the Chargers yesterday in Los Angeles. See you from Arlington, Texas next Monday night. Cephas on the
Nice. Oh, it wasn't a completion. Dropped by Cephas.
Cephas seems like the wide receiver one on this team, at least if this is their full.
Came out in the draft this year. He's one of the best press corners in college football last year, and he's shown it tonight. This guy can play some man-to-man coverage. I'll tell you this, Kevin King, look out.
He knocked that out.
Yeah, that was a nice play by the corner. Is it Stokes?
I don't remember him being a first-round draft pick. Didn't stand out to me in the draft. Nice block, 32. Nice block, 32.
Gets a pat from Aaron Rodgers. And Jared Goff is the leading rusher for the Lions tonight. And that's not a good thing.
Well, I think the biggest question for Green Bay coming out of this game will still be the defense. And they got better in the second half, but in the first half, they struggled to stop this offense.
I love 32's play on that. That was great.
Yeah, that was swift on that. It was it's really good. You don't see enough good like open field blocks from skill position
Yes.
players.
An effort in that, in those situations.
And Campbell with some retribution with that pick.
Oh, I might lose fantasy over that.
Another turnover for Goff and the Lions.
And the best way for Green Bay to get better defensively is to affect
That's something, Mickey. It's crazy when you get to play against like a really, really good athlete, like top tier athletes, like as a very, very clear amateur.
Oh, it's a little bit hyperbolic there.
Fumble, punt, interception, and the Packers have been able to take advantage at every turn.
Well, Devondre Campbell's filling up the stat line for good and bad.
3.5 to play.
They need Devondre Campbell to be the kind of linebacker that he has been earlier in his career. We talked with Jair Alexander this week, and he said that he felt Campbell.
Who just made that run?
I want to say it was Dylan, but it might have been a third string back because it didn't look like Jones, and it looks smaller than Dylan.
Size, speed, he can rush the passer, and you see there he can intercept.
He was a rookie for the Falcons on that Super Bowl team. And he's got never leaves the field. He's always out there. Wears the uniform number 59 to honor his mom. He was born in 1959.
Look, it's pretty hard to beat the Green Bay Packers, regardless of how the defense is experiencing growing pains. When your quarterback is 16 for 16 for 208 yards and 4 touchdowns on second and third down in a game, it's pretty hard.
Pretty impressive stats for Aaron Rodgers.
Pretty good.
And this is what it gets you. It gets you a 35-17 deficit.
Had a 75-yard passing first half. Aaron Rodgers didn't. He's turned it on since then. Kylan Hill, a couple of carries.
Yeah, you remember Devontae Adams? He had 3.
I think they said his name's Kyle Hill, the running back you were asking about, fat guy.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting because you're right. The offense has to carry the defense through the first part of this season, and we're going to.
Yeah, Michigan. They're still,
Next 2 weeks as the Packers play
from a coaching standpoint and from a roster standpoint, the Lions might be the worst team in the league.
And we'll see what happens. That's a next Sunday night game, so that'll be a big window for them as well. What do you think Aaron says after this one? Is it like
Yeah, Mickey's spot on there anyway to replace the Fords.
Now, I just think that he knows what this offense is capable of. that's not right. And he's not going to say that the defense is the one that
So for the cover, this is a big play.
and they know it too.
Listen, he should not get down in the gutter with all the talk show hosts that want to have a hot take. Like, that's not where he needs to live.
Rodgers isn't done. Too far for Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
So a backdoor cover is still, well, we'll see what they do here. It looks like Rodgers is walking off the field. This puts Fat Guy's fantasy in limbo.
does.
What's the point differential right now?
Less than one. A sack will do it.
Third punt of the night got some pressure. Gonna let it bounce. Picked up by Raymond and out after a 44-yard punt. The night for Aaron Rodgers. Started a little slowly, picked things up nicely.
Oh, but he's gonna lose a point if the Lions get 15 yards.
Yeah, so a short drive with a couple sacks or a turnover is what's going to do it for you. And then for me, a touchdown drive with an extra point will have me in cover territory. We'll see if
Oh
Goff
no,
can
it'll be
hold
a
onto this ball.
15 yards changes it. Oh no, it's 60 yards will change that. Sorry.
Yeah, camera just panned to a Green Bay fan sweating his 11 and a half. Rodgers is a beast and you don't like that. Yeah, it's just Detroit's not going to have much chance with this roster if Rodgers is in this division. Just he did a great job getting out of bounds on that play. But this is, again, like, tackling in bounds in these plays is so underrated right now. Not that it's, like, Detroit's very unlikely to come back and win this game, so it's not going to matter. But, like, these are plays that do make a difference. Because now they get to take their time. 19, 18, 17 left on the play clock. And they get to kind of regroup and do what they want to do instead of having to rush up. They would have hit this ball 10 seconds ago if it was tackled in bounds. Dump off to Swift, who's going to stay in bounds here. Pick up as many yards as he can. They're probably going to be able to get one more play off before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fat Guy calling audibles.
Oh, in regards to feeding the cat, I had to give her an update.
Yeah. We got a drop here, but that's okay. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Lions. Tyrell Williams is definitely the #1 wideout, at least if there's no one else missing.
Cephas has looked the part. I mean, is the gap that big?
No, the gap isn't that big. I'm trying to rack my brain around who the actual skill position players are, because I feel like they had someone else as well, other than just Tyrell Williams. Yeah,
they had
a receiver.
Yeah, they had Brashad Perryman, and they cut him.
Which makes sense.
Mickey, they've gone away almost. I stopped taking my antihistamine a month ago. It's unbelievable. I phoned my doctor, and they're like, there's no way it'll go away, and I was really bummed about it. And it's been fine. The cat sleeps in our room. and wakes, and then I have to let the cat out every morning to go to the bathroom. It's fine. I don't know how. I don't know how it happened. Before, I used to like this weird liquid would come out of my eyes, and they would swell up and shut completely.
The live OU, the under, I saw it. It's been at 52.5 this whole time, and the under was like minus 274 or something like that, and now it's pretty much back to even on both sides. How many points is this game at the moment?
It's 35-17, 52.
That is pretty cool, Mickey.
Yeah. Yeah, all the non-mesh jumping around this.
Goff really had the happy feet on that play. So this has got to be a Green Bay timeout because Detroit doesn't have any more.
Yeah.
You don't usually see a lot of rain gear being used.
Well, the poncho is really the gear. I always wonder, I'm like, if you're like part of the entourage, I'm like, I never understood that in NFL teams. You know, you got like 50 guys standing around doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. All right, 5 wide for the Lions here on 4th and 3. Blitz coming from the Packers. Well,
unbelievable.
Too bad for the cover, but Green Bay Packers are going to win this one by whatever the difference is between 35 and 17. So Benson like came back to the ball, but he didn't come back fully. You know, waiting for it and trying to make an arms catch, but that's what you get with Trinity Benson. Good play by Stokes, though, for the pass breakup. And this game is on ice. Well, tonight's a loss, at least for myself. I know, Fat Guy, I feel like it was a successful night for you.
Oh, yeah. I got everything. This is kind of nice.
Terrific. That's stupendous. Whoop Dog finished the week 13-2-1, so
pretty good.
He finished with 2 wins after the video.
It was a weird game. Detroit really did great in the first half. It's just Thursday Night Football. Yeah, you'll see us, Mickey, for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a barn burner between Carolina and Houston. We get to see Houston play at home on Thursday night.
I'm okay with that.
It'll be interesting to see what the crowd's like. It's interesting to say that, Mickey, but once in a while there's just things go stray. I remember Phillip Rivers botched a snap in victory formation. I believe they lost that game probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's probably the only one.
And that's just kind of how it is, right? You're gonna get these highs and lows from the Lions. I've updated the thing, so it should be there. Can just double check and take a look. That sounds about right, Mickey, because we were 6-9-1 this week. Yeah, you were 7-8-1. One thing I will check. Let's see how that affected the overall 51.32. So it looks like a majority of people were on the Lions at plus 10.5. So fortunately, it took the contest meta down, but still up there with the
break even against 11/10.
Yeah, pretty much at minus 105, 51.32%.
Oh. I thought I went. Oh, yeah. I guess it's more elastic, right? It's not that much big of a sample.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for Fat Guy and I tonight. But we will see you guys again on Thursday night. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.
See you on Thursday.